It's senior night here at Vic. It's senior night for the De La Salle Cavaliers. It's senior night here at Victory Stadium for the De La Salle Cavaliers. And the final home game for De La Salle. However, both De La Salle and Lutcher may have a few more home games on the schedule this year. For that and more, let's go downstairs to Stephanie Altman.
Thank you, Ken. While only tonight's winner will claim the district title, both teams could be state champions next month. De La Salle will play in the Select Division II bracket, while Lutcher will play in the non-select Class 3A bracket. Tonight's winner will get a big boost in the power ratings and might even move up in the rankings prior to Sunday's release of the playoff brackets. Ken and Wade, back to you.
Thanks, Stephanie. And you're looking at the seeds right there in 3A and Division II. De La Salle number 3, Lutcher number 2 in the non-select. And, you know, if both of these teams were to win a state championship, this game tonight would determine who is the best team in 3A. So we are underway as Lutcher had won the toss, deferred. They kick off, and the De La Salle Cavaliers have it first and get a good return back out to the 32-yard line. And De La Salle brings out Chantre Kirkland, who we talked about, Julian Gums, who we talked about in the open. What a great job this young man has done. He was supposed to share the quarterback duties with Quincy Cage, but Cage broke a collarbone early in the year, and suddenly this sophomore, Julian Gums, found himself thrust into the starting spot. His pass for 1,056 yards, 20 touchdowns, and has not gotten this team into any trouble. A lot of times the Cavaliers like to run that football first, and they do right off the bat. They go to one of their top runners in Jabio White. This is a no-huddle, quick-pace offensive football team. So after gaining just one on first down, it's second down and 9, and Julian Gums and company get the play called in from the sideline, and then they try to get this ball into action very, very quickly. Gums with Jabio White behind him, who carried on first down, will carry again on second down, sidesteps a tackler, but is hit and driven back and gang tackled. And that gives us an opportunity to take a look at some of the offensive players to watch for this De La Salle Cavalier team.
Well, I'll tell you what, they've got some outstanding athletes, and the one that you really want to watch tonight is Christian Booker, wide receiver. He's a big-time receiver who's committed to Nickel State. He's caught 9 touchdowns so far this season. You got Miles Ward there, who's a running back. We just saw him run the ball here a minute ago. And then Rico Wheat, another running back, who has 9 rushing touchdowns to date. He'll be splitting time in the backfield for the Cavs.
Rico Wheat is in there on this third down and 4. It's a little bit more than 4. Let's call it third and a long 4. Julian Gums. Not much pressure. He's going to throw it long. Uncorks it for Booker. Booker has it. Booker with a big catch all the way to the 9-yard line. What a catch by Booker. A 58-yard play on third and short yardage. And De La Salle goes to the air quickly and strikes big.
Great protection that time. Bought a lot of time for Gums to be able to set his feet, throw the ball on the vertical route by Booker. I'll tell you what, they did a great job blocking on number 55, Sully Lesh, who we'll be talking about here in a few minutes.
Well, I think keeping Sully Lesh out of your backfield is very important for the De La Salle Cavaliers. They will give it away. This time Miles Ward around the right side, and he finds the end zone. And De La Salle, who has never trailed anyone this year, scores first and keeps that record going in this game. How quick a drive to get that ball into the end zone against a very good Lutcher football team.
Well, I'll tell you what, they run these inside zone read, and they bounce it outside. Everything's jammed up inside by the Dogs, and they bounce it back outside, and he walks into the end zone.
Wow, that is just a show of offensive prowess right off the bat. 4 plays, 68 yards, and Flynn Labreche in to attempt the point after. He hooks it, and it doesn't make it. Just outside the right upright. So it's 6-0. De La Salle with the early strike in this big game. And here is the touchdown with Miles Ward finding pay dirt. Play didn't take De La Salle long to show why they average 50 points a game and how good this offense is on the big strike. Comes finding Booker, his big playmaker. Short dick. This is not fair caught and will be returned about 5 yards up to the 39-yard line. Still on his feet, and finally whistles blow. Forward progress stopped. And the Bulldogs, they're going, hey, we're just not going down. That was Ben St. Pierre. And he plays both ways and on special teams. A three-way player, one of a few three-way players for the Lutcher Bulldogs. So now we see John Trey Kirkland coming out, the junior. He has accounted for 34 touchdowns, 24 passing this year. Completed 56% of his passes. Thrown 6 interceptions and 7 fumbles, and he will quick throw to the right side for the Lutcher Bulldogs early in the game, and that is Destin Porter on the left side. He'll be used as a running back and as a wide receiver. Players to watch for Lutcher.
The guy that you're going to want to watch tonight, they're all offensively very electrifying, but it's number 2 right there, Aldontre Davis. I'll tell you what, he's an electrifying athlete. He averages 15.6 yards a catch.
This is Kirkland. He'll keep a lot, and this time De La Salle keying on him, hits him at the line of scrimmage, drives him back. His forward progress will give him 1 yard. Taking a look at the De La Salle defensive players to watch, and they've got a couple of linemen, 2 of them combining to make that tackle there, Edwards and James.
These 2 defensive linemen, Edwards and James, they can dictate the game for De La Salle tonight. They're a dominating duo. They're going to have to continue playing that way tonight if De La Salle is going to wear that 9-3-8 patch that they want to wear.
Second down. Bulldogs just crossing over into De La Salle's territory. And again, running up the middle on these 2 defenses are going to be tough because both are very stingy.
I mean, right there, Adam Ray, Dylan Williams, Jamian James, the heart of that defensive line right there. Tell you what, those guys are tremendous technique players inside. They do a great job playing physical.
This time, nobody behind him. And Kirkland wants the little screen left side, has Davis. Davis cuts back to the middle, hit, driven back, and denied the first down. And Lutcher may be facing their very first punt situation of the day.
Well, they try to get the outside quick wide receiver screen out there to Lutcher's left. You can see it right here. Kirkland, boom, looks left, looks right, then throws left real quick. And it's got a crew of guys out there trying to block for him. But look at all the maroon jerseys that are just flying to that ball, getting that really great De La Salle pressure over there and making sure that they are running pursuit lanes. Got somebody down here.
Edwards in on the stop. Can't see who that is. That is down. But the reason why it's so hard for both of these teams to run it is both of these defenses just don't give up a lot of yards. You talked about this earlier, Wade, in that De La Salle is only allowing 6 yards a game. And if you look at district play, Lutcher is only allowing 14. So, or 9 in district play, 14 overall. So these are two good defenses. Hey, if you're injured on Friday, the Oshner Sports Medicine Institute is open on both the North and South Shore for Saturday morning clinic. Oshner Sports Medicine, the region's most comprehensive sports medicine services.
Well, you're talking about their defenses, Ken. The thing that they're very well coached. All right, they don't make a lot of mental mistakes as far as penalties and things of that nature, and then they run well to the ball. That's the thing about a good defense is you run well to the ball, you pursue, and you play with a lot of energy and effort. And both of these teams do that, and you'll see that tonight as the game progresses.
Getting a pretty good look right there at a few De La Salle players, including Aaron Marquez on the bench.
That looks like
this for the Cavaliers is Quincy Williams.
That was down, getting up. Let's hope he's fine.
Limping a little, but at least coming off under his own power. Now, interestingly, here's Lutcher on 4th down and 4. No punt team on the field at the 42-yard line of the Cavaliers. Will they try to draw him offside maybe? There's no 25-second clock. The officials are keeping the 25-second clock on the field. Now the punt team switches, comes onto the field for the Lutcher Bulldogs, so they did not draw them offside. Trevor Cormidell is the punter. High snap. No one back for the De La Salle Cavaliers. They were expecting a fake punt. There's no one back there. And Lutcher will down it at the 15-yard line. So that. Let's talk a little bit about the keys to victory as both of these teams have now. The offenses have been out there and the defenses have been out there and they've faced off. They've squared off against each other. What are the keys?
Well, I was going to say, Lutcher needs to start fast. They need to make sure that they play penalty-free tonight. They wanted to jump on De La Salle as quickly as they possibly could, but De La Salle does a nice job holding them to a punt. De La Salle, they've got to stay in the moment. They haven't been in this position in a long time. Lutcher every year basically plays for a district championship in the districts they win. They've been in. De La Salle tonight needs to stay in the moment and needs to keep doing the things that they've been successful with.
Rico Weed on the handoff, tries the middle, and once again the Lutcher Bulldogs just slam it. Lutcher defensive players that we have to watch after the replay.
Great play right there by Rashawn Preston, number 22, the tackle leader for the Bulldogs.
There's our defensive players to watch, and I love the guy right on top, Sully Lesh.
Sully Lesh, he's going to see a lot of action tonight. He'll play some offensive line also. He's the sack leader for the Bulldog defense with 9 on the season. He's the heart and the soul of the Lutcher Bulldog team, Ken.
A little bump in the backfield, but Gums finds a way to keep it, move forward, and get a few positive yards out of that. Not a lot.
Well, De La Salle's offensive line is going to have to be able to establish the physicality of the game. De La Salle is a zone offense, meaning that they're going to try to run the zone stretch plays inside and outside, the counter plays off of it. So that tends to lead that the defensive line must not be able to be outmatched by the offensive line for the Lutcher defense. De La Salle's going to have to be real physical up front tonight.
De La Salle looking at a 3rd down conversion in this game. And, hey, Gums has got a little bit of room. He's quick. Look how fast he is. He finds a seam and is just tripped up on a long, big gaining, saving tackle after a 27-yard gain to the 46-yard line. The Cavaliers move the chains for a 1st down.
Lutcher comes off the left edge with a blitz by Dylan Ricotta. Look at the escapability right there by Gums. Tell you what, he sees nothing open, finds a hole, escapes, picks up a big 1st down. You can see his rushing numbers right there. 276 yards, 4 touchdowns on the season. He's averaging 9 yards a carry.
You take those 4 rushing touchdowns, add them to the 20 passing touchdowns. He's accounted for 24 touchdowns. This play blown dead, flag down, or timeout called. Timeout called before the snap. Timeout, De La Salle, first timeout called tonight. We'll take it with them and be back right after this. The De La Salle Cavaliers have a 6-0 lead over Lutcher in this big district championship game. LaSalle Cavaliers ready to go on first down. They have moved the chains. Rico Wheat, the running back, for Julian Gums. Here comes a pretty good rush. Gums stands in the pocket, gets protection, throws just off the fingertips, and he zipped one down there for Eddie Miner, who couldn't reach it. But I like the force that Gums had on that football.
Solid delivery right there. Started with the protection. Great protection right there. The Cavaliers running 4 vertical seams. They try to hit the inside seam right there, just off the fingertips of Eddie Miner, and nicely thrown ball.
You look at the arm strength of Julian Gums as only a sophomore, and he's pretty impressive. Eddie Miner, 12 catches, 187, 5 TVs, was racing down there, just couldn't get the hands up in time to get the pass. Aaron Marquez, who you saw on the bench a little while ago, is up to the top of your screen. Gums has Rico Wheat and hands the ball off to him, and he is just hammered as he turns into the line. He's at the 47-yard line for a gain of 1.
Rashawn Preston does a nice job there. Lutcher jumping in and out of their 4-man front, their 3-man front. Right here, there's nobody to block the outside linebacker for De La Salle sweep. You see 26 right there coming right off the edge. You see number 22, Rashawn Preston right there waiting for him. Thaddeus Wattis, defensive end, number 26, sitting right there. Nobody blocked those guys. It's going to bring up a long third down right here.
This will bring up third down for the Cavaliers. Last time they had third and just a little bit more than this. They threw the bomb and got it. This time, Booker again is the man, and Booker can't get to the first down marker. It's going to be close, but he'll be a yard short at the 45-yard line of Lutcher. That'll bring up 4th down and 1. De La Salle has no punt team on.
You can see the, there it is. X-cross. You can see the X-receiver, Christian Booker, coming across the formation. De La Salle.
And that's exactly what they were hoping to do, was maybe get the free play by drawing them offside, and they do. So without having to snap the football, De La Salle gets a first down.
Defense, 5-yard penalty. Result is first down.
I'll tell you what, De La Salle quickly rushes to the line of scrimmage, like you said there, Ken. And you can see the offside jumping right into the neutral zone by Thaddeus Wattis. A little bit too quick, getting drawn off sides. Picks up the easy first down for De La Salle.
So now you're at the 40-yard line of the Bulldogs. First down, Julian Gums will send a man in motion. That's Miles Ward. Then he wants Ward, but throws the screen pass behind him. This is a lateral, and Ward has to chase it down as it goes out of bounds. There'll be a lost yardage on the play back to the 48-yard line. That's a live football.
Everybody looks at these quick wide receiver screens that they're running bubble screens now, and all these behind the line of scrimmage. You can see the look right there. That is a hard throw for a quarterback, Ken. I mean, you've got to be able to make sure the receiver's shoulders gets around to see the ball when it's coming. The ball's got to be placed at a certain spot. You usually have a defensive man in somebody's face right there. Those are things that are very well timed out, and you've got to practice a lot of that every day in practice with your offensive throwing game.
Chabio White, and he'll bounce to the outside, trying to run to daylight. What a turn to the corner, but he's hammered before he can get past the 45-yard line. He made up some of the lost yardage, but not a lot.
Lutcher does a great job coming down and setting the edge right there. Great job by Dylan Ricotta coming up from his strong safety position, coming up and setting the edge. Nowhere to run for Wheat.
10th play of the drive. And it's a long way to go for a first down. So you're looking at third down and about 15. Lots of time for Gums. Look at the time he's got. Plenty of time to roll to the left. Now take off. Escapes one tackler. A second block he gets. And he's down to the 32-yard line. This is going to be just short of the first down. It'll bring up 4th down and short, and another decision-making call for Coach Ryan Manali.
De La Salle trying to run 4 verticals from a 3-by-1 formation. Nothing open right there. Lutcher does a great job covering the verticals, and you can see Gums coming out of the pocket, looking for something downfield, decides to tuck the ball and take off. Looks like they did give him the first down. He apparently did pick up the yardage.
Great spot for the Cavaliers. And this will move it down now to the 31-yard line, 1st and 10. Javier White, this is a low snap. Gums picks it up. I think it was supposed to be a handoff, and White will just keep it going to the outside and gets a little extra push at the last minute. Lucky there was no flag thrown there.
Well, I know from the standpoint of offensive coordinators, you want to be behind the sticks on first down. I say this every week. It's not about third down anymore. It's about first down. What do you do on your productivity for first down? Offensive coordinators go back and check and see what are they doing on first down. That's the big play now, because if you're behind the sticks, usually it's going to bring up a third and long situation.
Well, again, Christian Booker, the wide receiver, is in the slot at the top of your screen. He's 6'4", 2nd down 10. They'll keep it on the ground. White looking for room, and look at him just push everyone forward down to the 25-yard line for a gain of 6 on the play.
Jabal White does a very nice job right there, getting up into the crease created by the offensive line. You can see the zone blocking right there by a fine offensive line, and you can see Jabal White just getting himself into a little crease and picking up nice yardage to set up 2nd down for the Cavaliers.
The very dangerous Miles Ward checks into the backfield. Good running back, good with his hands on the football in space on screen passes. Watch him close on 3rd down. They spotted it back a little bit. It'll be 3rd down and 7. And they do give it to Ward. And Ward's looking for a crease, and he's flipped up in the air and falls inside the 25-yard line short of the first down. That will bring up 4th down.
Dylan Ricotta does a great job there, again setting the edge from his strong safety position, forcing Miles Ward back inside. Nice job right there, coming off the block, setting the edge, and making a great tackle. Dylan Ricotta for the Lutcher Bulldogs.
Can they draw Lutcher offside again? They're trying. This is right on the edge of field goal range for LaBreche, but he would be kicking against the wind. So I don't think you're going to see a field goal unit. 25-second clock running down. Here's the give to Ward again. He tries over to the right side and will be short. And De La Salle will give it over on downs. Lost the ball on downs. Lutcher takes over the football with 1:54 to play in the first quarter. De La Salle 6-0.
De La Salle runs a little power play off tackle right there. Upcoming making the tackle from his safety position is number 7, Dontel Johnson. Does a nice job fitting off the linebacker. He makes the linebacker right. That's what safeties do when they come up and fit the run. Whatever the linebacker does, they fit off the linebacker. He fits off the linebacker and makes a huge hit for the Bulldogs and turnover on downs for De La Salle.
To the Bulldogs with a good fake and a throw to the right side. This one to Porter. Porter is dangerous in space. Look at Porter with the first down up to the 40-yard line, 41-yard line, and then pushed back. And Lutcher strikes with their first bigger play. I don't want to call it a big play, but a bigger play than they've had in this game, an 18-yard gain.
This is what you call run-pass option, RPO. That's the big thing now. You're seeing a lot of this taking place on Saturday in the college game. You can see Jontre Kirkland decide whether he's going to run the ball or if there's nobody on the receiver, pass it out there real quick. Nice pickup for the Bulldogs.
Now, not much as Kirkland goes straight ahead. He will keep that time. So 2nd down and 9 coming up for the Bulldogs after Kirkland was only able to gain a yard.
You know, Ken, it's amazing what you see on Saturday filters down to Friday nights. What you see on Sunday, a lot of times, especially with protections, defenses, coverages, things of that nature, filter down to Saturday. Sooner or later, it all comes to Friday night.
Watch Kirkland, he's dangerous. Wow, somebody just horse-collared him down. They got a hand in there and yanked him down. That'll be a loss on the play. And this De La Salle defense in this first quarter has been relentless.
Tell you what, watch this stick by Dylan Williams. Whack.
Yeah, it really wasn't a horse collar. They just turned him around so fast with the hit that it looked like that in real speed. Down to a half minute, 30 seconds to play in the first quarter, and here's a long toss down to Aldontro Davis, and he got his fingertips on it but couldn't get it, and a flag is tossed.
You're going to probably see interference right there on the Cavaliers, but what was interesting to start that playoff, Ken, if you notice, they went a 4-by-1 formation. They had There's your call by our head official right there. And
First penalty tonight, and our official is Paul LaRosa.
Right, so we get a pass interference penalty on De La Salle. But what was interesting, getting back to what I was saying, they were in a 4-by-1.
Pass interference. 12 defense. 15-yard penalty. Result of the penalty, the first down.
Noble Scott playing him, and Noble's got 3 interceptions. He leads in that category for the Cavaliers.
Nice shot of it right there. 4-by-1 formation by Lutcher that time. I'm telling you, De La Salle did not adjust to the 4 receivers down at the bottom of the field, Ken. Look for Lutcher to come back to that at another time.
They have 4 receivers, but 2 are low and 2 are high. 2 to the right side, 2 to the left side. And Kendrick Jackson was playing a wing. He'll shift now behind Jeantre Kirkland. Kirkland on the fake. Big rush coming in. Josh Paul with a gigantic, untouched, unblocked sack of the quarterback.
They didn't account for Josh Paul coming off the edge on the blitz right here. Nobody touches him. Great stick. Nice tackle. Huge hit right there.
Well, when you need a big play, Josh Paul just delivered. And that is the end of the first quarter of play, and it has been a dilly. De La Salle, 1 touchdown, 1 missed extra point, and the 6-0 lead. Second quarter of play, Ken Berthelot, Wade Kaiser, Stephanie Altman down on the field, and the Lutcher Bulldogs trying to find a way to put their first numbers on the board. 2 explosive offenses and only 6 points scored in the first quarter, and 1 missed extra point. Kirkland, the roll with the throw with the toss. It's caught, but will be short of the first down. First catch of the game by Gregory Clayton. Clayton, the nephew of former LSU great Jarvis Landry.
It's a nice rollout right there by Kirkland, sprinting to his right, throwing the ball on the money, picking up a nice little piece of yards right there. Still going to bring up a long distance here on 3rd and long.
3rd and 11. Kirkland with lots of time and real estate to run. Fancy moves, and he's down near the 40-yard line. They'll mark him down at the 41. That'll be short of the first down, bringing up a 4th down play, 4th and 4.
Kirkland gets the ball, sets his feet. Little antsy right there. Felt the pressure. I think he felt the pressure after the last blitz with Josh Paul coming off the edge and hitting him right in the chin. So he kind of got a little antsy there and rushed out of there. He needed to let things set up, step up, keep his vision down the field, and be a little bit more patient. Here's your 4-by-1.
Look at this. It's a fake play. Kirkland on the punt. Flag thrown. Flag is tossed, and he will throw to Aldontre Davis. There's one of the great fakes by Tim Detillier and this Lutcher Bulldog football team, but hold on. A flag is thrown.
What happens, they came out quickly in their 4-by-1 formation. I said they were going to come back to it because De La Salle didn't adjust to it the first time. They snapped the ball real quickly, throw it out here to the number 4 receiver in the formation. What happened was Lutcher was not set at the time because of the quick snap, so thus they get the motion.
Illegal shift, offense. Offensive players moving at snap, 5-yard penalty, repeat 4th down.
It almost worked. Another look at it.
Here's another look at it. You'll see the 4-by-1 formation. They quickly try to throw the ball out here. No, Lutcher's not set. And they get the illegal procedure penalty. You can see the 3 receivers in front of the receiver, Aldontre Davis, but all for naught.
Well, the fact, too, that you might expect a fake punt was the quarterback, John Trey Kirkland, who's a good punter, was back there. Now your normal punter, Trevor Cormedell, is back there. And when he's back there, you probably are going to see a punt, even though he is also a backup quarterback and can throw the football. Lutcher and De La Salle fans, Mellow Mushroom will donate 10% of your order to your school's athletics department now through Saturday. Stop by the Metairie or Covington locations, tell your server, and give back to your school with the best pizza in town. And don't forget to stay mellow at the Mellow Mushroom.
You know, kid, tonight, I brought this up earlier before the ball game. Joe Brown Stadium right here, Victory Field, does not have a 25-second clock. So that's going to put a lot of pressure on the quarterbacks to know when they're going to have to get the ball off. The way you do it as an officiating crew is they're going to put somebody in the center of the field, one of the backfield judges, and at 10 seconds on his clock, he'll have to hold his hand up to let the quarterback know that he is fixing to go under 10 seconds on the 25 seconds clock. That's the old way of doing it. It's going to apply a little bit more pressure to those quarterbacks tonight.
So Cormedell, a 36-yard average punter, gets a beauty out there, and a late flag is thrown from the back judge. Wow. Ball went into the end zone, which means that ball coming back out, but let's see what the flag's all about.
Well, it's going to be running into the returner.
Oh, the returner?
And the decision is whether or not it's going to be a personal foul or not, but the ball is uncatchable. The rule says that the returner is still protected. Here it is right here. Bang.
Oh, yeah. Now the officials talking about it.
That was Ethan Bland running into the returner. Here's our call.
Our referee is Paul LaRosa. They're going to talk about it just a little bit more. That gives us a chance to remind you to stay tuned to WHNO for the best in high school sports action. Up next, it's a special edition of the first NBC Bank Prep Showcase featuring a wrestling duel between St. Paul's and Jesuit outdoors at John Ryan Stadium. That's following our football coverage today at 3 on WHNO.
That's going to be interesting. Outdoor wrestling.
If you can do ice hockey outdoors, you can do any sport outdoors.
I just hope the weather cooperates. Here's our call.
Long discussion here by the officials, Wade.
During the kick, fair catch interference, kicking team. That penalty we penalized from the 20 as a result of the touchback. First down.
That is the correct call from Paul LaRosa. It is a penalty that will be assessed from the seceding spot. And the seceding spot is the 20-yard line because the ball went into the end zone. You saw Mr. Ethan Bland right there run into the returner and commit fair catch interference. First down, Cavaliers.
I think it should go at the 35-yard line. It's a 15-yard penalty from the 20. They have it marked at the 32, which would be, I think, a spot of the foul walk-off, and that might be what they're discussing right now. Is it a spot of the foul, or is it?
It should be from the seceding spot, which is the 20-yard line.
Correct, which should put it out to the 35, not the 32. And now they correct it and get it out to the 35-yard line. And the Cavaliers will have it there, protecting a 6-0 lead. We've seen a few explosive plays, but this has been a defensive football game. And Julian Gums set to go on first down. He'll hand off. Rico Wheat finding room over the right side, and look at him run for 8 yards up to the 43-yard line.
Tell you what, I'm really impressed so far with this De La Salle offensive line. They're doing a nice job. You can see Lutcher is in their odd front. Tell you what, they do a very nice job that time blocking number 55, Sully Lesh, getting him out of the way, creating a seam for Rico Wheat to hit.
If you can't keep Sully Lesh, and for our fans watching, he's number 55 in white for the Lutcher Bulldogs. If you can't keep him out of the backfield, he'll be smothering that number 10 jersey. But De La Salle has done so far a yeoman's job of blocking him out, and that's one of the keys, I think, for De La Salle in this game. And here's a great fake and a keeper by Gums, but he's just trying to move the chains for a first down, and he does it. So he finds a way to push that ball out to the 46-yard line, and De La Salle gets a first down.
Here comes the jet sweep fake right here. There's the fake, and Julian Gums pulls the ball and runs it back up into the offensive line of scrimmage and picks up the first down. See a lot of that now, faking the jet sweep, quarterback pulling it. It's giving them another option.
See a lot of faking the jet sweep. Quarterback keeps it, then throws to the man he faked to, and that's working pretty good too. Gums, look at him choose his hole and then fight his way almost for another first down, a gain of 8.5. He is right at the 46-yard line.
De La Salle goes empty right there. They spread the formation. They get everybody out of the box. They keep only 6 people in the box from the Lutcher defense, and they run quarterback draw.
Now, the man to watch in a situation like this with second down and short is Christian Booker. He will be at the bottom of your screen. Gums, as you can see, getting the play in from the sideline. No huddle, but they're not playing the up-tempo brand of football right now. There is Booker. Watch him close. He's got a height advantage on almost everybody in this game at 6'4". He's looking that way, and it's intercepted. Coming back the other way. Ball picked off by Ethan Bland. Bland's second interception of the year. Lutcher has it, and a late flag thrown. This could be a little late hit.
Tell you what, the pick was awesome. I tell you, the free safety steps right into the picture and takes the ball. Bang, right there, number 35, Ethan Bland. He makes up for his late hit on the punt returner a few plays back. The thing that, here's your penalty.
Personal foul. Lutcher, 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, first down.
The thing that was not very good right there was the placement of the receivers of De La Salle. We'll talk more about it when we come back.
We'll take a break. 8:34 to play in the first half. It's still a De La Salle one-touchdown lead. Bulldogs have it by virtue of the Ethan Bland interception. Davon Adams, the running back, and they'll shift Porter out. And just nowhere to go that time. This De La Salle defense has been relentless. Great second effort that time.
Extremely physical. Extremely physical. But I'm going to take a step back to that pick here by Lutcher just a minute ago. It all started with the route placement by De La Salle. De La Salle's route placement wasn't poor. They had to have a bust on their routes, so thus the ball was thrown in the wrong spot, which set up the pick. You can see it right here. 2 receivers in the same area right there, and a great pick stepped in by Ethan Bland right there to pick the ball off.
Kirkland with a good fake, good throw, and the catch by Destin Porter. And Porter will move the chains for Lutcher, and that's what the Bulldogs need to get going right now. Some type of a sustained drive to move down this football field, because despite everything that's happened, this is still a 6-0 game.
Yeah, Ken, they need to get something going right here. They need to pick up some first downs, settle down a little bit, and try to get themselves into scoring position, obviously.
Davon Adams remains the running back behind Jontre Kirkland. Moving further to the other side. Look at this hole. Right up the middle goes Adams, and Adams has the first down all the way up to the 45-yard line.
Tell you what, great pickup right there. Nice hole, great job by the offensive line of Lutcher. You can see Adams hits it right up inside the A-gap right there. And he's off to the races. Inside zone, good placement of the ball. High and tight. Very nice ball security. Picks up a great first down.
Fresh legs. Destin Porter in for Davon Adams. Kirkland, lots of time. He'll throw and has Porter. He zips that ball to him. Porter with a good move to the outside. Breaks free. Another first down for Lutcher on a 17-yard gain all the way down to the 38-yard line of the De La Salle Cavaliers.
Lutcher goes empty right there. They spread the De La Salle defense out, and they're picking on the receiver right, the defensive back right here with the receiver. Bang. Great throw and catch. Nice catch right there by Destin Porter.
Tariq Belvin, another big 6'4" receiver for the Lutcher Bulldogs in the slot. They haven't used him yet. And not much for Kirkland on the right side, but he just powers forward in the crowd and moves it down for 3 yards to the 35-yard line.
Lutcher right there trying to run a little G scheme, bringing the onside guard, or the backside guard, I'm sorry, trying to kick out the defensive end right there. You see number 52 coming across the formation. Rowdy Scott trying to get a kick-out block, letting the quarterback work back up inside off of his kick-out block.
Second down for Lutcher. Good fake, and the overthrow to Destin Porter, who would have had some room. He had some open real estate had he been able to catch that football.
Well, yes, he did, because they had only 2 defenders out here for 3 people. They had the ball, 2 blockers, and ball gets caught. He splits the seam. He could have been off to the races.
First incompletion for Kirkland in this football game. And I'll tell you what, these receivers, these quarterbacks have been hitting their receivers, but Kirkland has been especially sharp.
Thing I'm seeing right now, Ken, is De La Salle needs to walk out and cover up these receivers somehow. They've got 3 out here on 2. And 1 deep.
Third down, 7. The fake. Kirkland on the keep. He has the first down and a little bit more and is hammered. Just hammered by Devontae LeBranch. But he's got the first down to the 24-yard line.
Lutcher's going to see that. And what they're going to do is they're going to either adjust, or you're going to see Lutcher throwing those little wide receiver bubble screens out real quick to the 3 receiver side, trying to get the mismatch real fast. Again, De La Salle is 2 over 3.
Boy, picking up the pace of their offense, have up-tempoed it a little bit, and Davon Adams just dives forward for a few to the 21-yard line.
Staying with the inside zone running game right there. Thing I like to see here, Lutcher is doing a great job rotating their backs. They're rotating Porter, Adams, Jackson. These guys are getting a lot of reps in there, and that keeps them fresh.
Using 4 wideouts in this spread offense, almost every down on this long drive. Kirkland gets a play call from the sideline, changes the play. Low snap, picks it up, and look, somehow breaks through the pile and is inside the 15-yard line.
Tell you what, he's a strong runner.
Goodness.
He is a strong runner. Watch him.
He got the first down
right
with
here.
that second effort. He moves the chains.
Watch
Look
him
at
break
this.
tackles. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 tackles right there.
And look, LeBranch makes the tackle, but he goes for about a 4-yard ride as he's trying to bring him down. So, 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Kirkland to the outside, just a little shovel pass forward to Porter, and Porter cuts back on the counter, trying to find and save space. He's near the line of scrimmage again. Yeah, turned a loss of 7 into a 2-yard gain with some fancy footwork.
Well, first thing they did is
right there, boom.
Yeah, they run it to the wrong side. The numbers were to that side. They needed to run the play back to the other side where they had more numbers. However, they ad-lib it. They make something positive into a negative right there. And you see 92 down right there from De La Salle.
That's Daquan Edwards.
That is a big, that would be a big loss if he can't continue to play the rest of tonight.
Well, he, along with Jameron James, were 2 of our 3 players to watch for the De La Salle Cavaliers. We'll take a break while they work on Daquan Edwards. Lutcher driving and trailing by 6. Time now for Traditions, presented by Joseph A. Bank, the new tradition since 1905, with locations downtown in Metairie and in Mandeville. Stephanie has the story of this new tradition in New Orleans prep football, Victory Field.
Thank you, Ken. When Joe Brown Park opened in 1976, it was considered a community headquarters for people in New Orleans East. But when Katrina hit in 2005, it turned the park into a wasteland when it was consumed by over 15 feet of water. Many organizations found ways to help rebuild the city after Katrina, but it was Nike, the All-State Sugar Bowl, and the Breeze Dream Foundation that came together to bring Joe Brown Park back to life and make it to what is now considered to be the premier recreational facility in the city. Ken, back to you.
Thank you, Stephanie. And boy, this is a beautiful field. Victory Field at Joe Brown Park. That was an incomplete pass to Aldontre Davis. Brings up third down. 3rd and 8 for Lutcher. Good look at Victory Field. Beautiful turf here. Here's the toss into the end zone. This one intercepted by the De La Salle Cavaliers. Intercepted by Devontae LeBranch. He's had a couple of big sticks in this game, and now he's got an interception to go with it, his second of the year.
Devontae LeBranch does a great job right there playing man coverage. De La Salle goes out and covers up both receivers in man coverage. He steps right inside the post route for a big pick. There it is.
So each team has given it up one time by way of interception, but that stops a Lutcher drive with 4:35 to play in the half and keeps them with a 0 on the scoreboard. Cavaliers, when you need defense, theirs has come through.
I think Lutcher planned to see a different coverage that time. De La Salle changed the coverage, went to man coverage on them, and very good job right there by LeBranch playing the post route, stepping in front and picking the ball off.
68-yard drive wiped out by that interception. Now the Cavaliers will have it, and Hello right in the backfield, and just nowhere to go for Rico Wheat. He was wearing Sully Lush's jersey by the time he got up off that play.
Sully Lush, gotta love Sully Lush. He comes right off the edge right there. All 6'2", 245 pounds. This guy's a good football player. They play him inside. They play him outside. He's very athletic. You'll see him on the offensive line sometimes. I tell you what, he is just what you call a outstanding football player.
That was his 23rd tackle for loss. By the way, he is Lutcher's all-time sack leader with 32.5, and just an absolute bear. And I'll tell you what, whoever ends up signing a Sully Lush and a Ben St. Pierre, they're going to help their college football teams. I can promise you that. Not being recruited as much as he should be by the colleges. Nowhere to go, and a nice defensive play by Rashawn Preston, who's made his share of big ones for this Lutcher defense.
Rashawn Preston's everywhere. He runs sideline to sideline. He's extremely athletic. This guy makes a lot of big plays for the Lutcher defense. You know, that is an outstanding defense that the Bulldogs have out there. Those guys are athletic. They can run. They can pursue. They do a great job mixing up their fronts. Sometimes they're in a 3-man front. Sometimes they're in their 4-man front. They get in and out of different coverages. I love the schemes that they're in. They're an awesome defense.
Well, because of the sack and nothing happening on first down, nothing happening on second, now it's 3rd down and 14. Gums, nowhere to go. He'll try to run, but he is smoked. And they've got him at the 16-yard line. So this will bring up a punting situation for the Cavaliers.
He needed to get rid of that football. He's just holding on to a little bit too long. Nothing open. Let's just get rid of the football. He needed to make a quicker decision. Nothing there. Time clock in his head needed to say, hey, it ain't there. Let's get rid of the football. Let's get of it right now, or let's find a running lane and let's get the heck out of town.
Wow. With that, we have a timeout on the field because we're down and the clock is continuing to run, so they have not stopped. Timeout clock running. I thought for a minute the officials did not stop the clock, but they are running that as a timeout clock. So anyway, we do want to remind you that the first NBC Bank Prep Showcase will have a first-round playoff matchup for you next week. Watch it live Friday night at SportsNola.com and catch the tape-delayed broadcast on WHNO next Saturday at noon. That's playoff football next week on the first NBC Bank Prep Showcase. And, you know, I'd say I'm excited about playoff football, but the last 4 or 5 weeks we've had games that are as good as any playoff and teams that will probably be rematched in the playoffs. We may be doing some repeat games, replay games.
Well, I'll tell you what, if the playoffs are going to be anywhere like what we've seen this year in weeks 1 through 10, it's going to be an excellent playoff bracket in select as well as non-select.
Should be very exciting. These two teams cannot meet in the playoffs because De La Salle is select. Lutcher is non-select. And that's why I say if each would go on to win their 3A state championship divisions in the Superdome, this game would determine who would be the best 3A team in the state. And right now, the game is living up to its expectations. They are battling each other like two excellent football teams.
More reason why there should be no division of teams in our state.
Julian Gums, the quarterback, is also the punter. So now we are back to 2:53 to play with the time on the clock correct, and he will get a end-over-end low line drive type kick, not called for on any type of a fair catch. And Davis somehow gets loose. Look at Eldontre Davis coming up with a play for the Lutcher Bulldogs to spark them with 2.5 minutes to play. Goodness gracious. Now we have penalty markers down. Hold on.
Well, let's take a good look at it right there. 1 tackle, 2 tackles, 3 tackles, 4 tackles, 5 tackles. So huge athletic play right there. But that, you know, the bottom line is you got to tackle on special teams. De La Salle did not do a good job right there. You got to cover your kicks and you got to tackle. Great effort right there, you know, by the returner Eldontre Davis, but you know, you got to tackle.
There is no foul on a play, but illegal block. First down, Lutcher.
All right, they're going to pick it up.
They picked it up. I like an officiating crew that can come together, talk about what they saw, and decide to pick up a flag that doesn't need to be on the floor. I didn't have enough of those.
Spoken in the same words that every coach would say. Absolutely. At the 38-yard line, Lutcher with great field position for the final 2:35 of the first half. Kirkland wants to throw long. He's got man coverage on the right side. They get tangled up with each other, and neither can catch up with the football, but they was going for the big 6'4" receiver, Tariq Belvin.
De La Salle's playing a 2-high coverage, Ken. All right? Now, Lutcher is putting 3 receivers to one side, 1 receiver to the other side. They were trying to lock up one where he was going to end up playing 1-on-2 over there. 2 De La Salle defenders versus 1 Lutcher receiver. They need to come down to the 3 receiver side where they have no linebacker support, walked out on one of the receivers to the 3 receiver side where they have the numbers. You can see it here again. See, 2 on 3. They've got leverage. They need to come to the 3 receiver side.
The marker was down, first down played over, and that's an incomplete pass thrown quickly to Kendrick Jackson on the right side. Haven't seen too much of Jackson in the game so far.
I like how Lutcher rotates those running backs, though, Ken. You're going to see Porter, you're going to see Adams. We saw Jackson right there, keeping those running backs by committee, keeping their legs fresh. Empty formation now. That's interesting.
Nobody back there. Jean-Trey Kirkland all by himself. Here comes the rush. He'll get off the... Oh, he's got a man at the 30-yard line and a diving catch by Tariq Belvin.
They work to the 3 receiver side right there in the empty formation, a 3-by-2 formation. Still, De La Salle does not adjust to the 3 receiver side in a 2-high secondary. What do? They throw the quick in route right there to the number 2 receiver.
Well, his 10th catch of the year was a big one for Lutcher because it got them close, manageable for the first down on 3rd and 4 now. At the De La Salle 31-yard line. They'll try the center of the line. No, Kirkland will keep. Kirkland with a nice move to the outside. Has the first down with a 9-yard gain and 1:42 as Lutcher's playing the clock and the Cavalier defense near the end of the first half.
Well, plenty of time. Minute 42, 2 timeouts. They're moving the chains. They're fixing to go inside the red zone here in a few yards. They're going to make sure that they're going to milk this all the way down, but they want to make sure, obviously, they come out with some points.
Wow, Lutcher jumped real quick. Everybody moved. You had 4 wide receivers moving, but the ball wasn't snapped.
80 defense, 5-yard penalty.
One of the keys to the game was that they had to be fault-free, penalty-free. You know, they needed to get a quick start and play penalty-free, and that puts them back, you know, up against the wall here with a first and long.
Lutcher hasn't had a lot of penalties, but they've had 2 costly ones, and they have not gotten off to the quick start they would have liked to. Kirkland's pass, Aldontre Davis on the far side, gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Clock still running, though. Lutcher has 2 timeouts remaining if they choose to use it. 106-105.
Run the quick wide receiver seeing to his right, Aldontre Davis right there, trying to get one-on-one with the corner. Nice tackle right there by the De La Salle defensive back, Samaj Lewis.
Davis, Porter, Clayton, and Belvin, your wideouts. Here comes some rush. Oh, and they get him by pulling him down by the jersey, and that is as big a defensive play as Danquan Edwards, definitely back in the game and not shaken up as he was before, could make for this De La Salle Cavalier football team.
Danquan Edwards right here comes up big on the sack. Nobody's blocking him. He grabs the jersey in the back. I know the guys over on the sideline for the Lutcher Bulldogs, who have just called timeout, I believe, wanted a horse collar, but that was not a horse collar. That was definitely the back of the jersey. Big pull down by big 92, who's back in the game, 6'1", 230-pound, Danquan Edwards.
Well, Lutcher's got, and Tim Detillier is on the other side. He's talking to the official about it right now, pleading the case you just talked about, but he's not going to get it on this sideline. The Cavaliers, they're just talking defense because their defense has been, both defenses have been sterling except for the one long play and De La Salle pushing it in.
I've known Tim Detillier for a long time. He is one of the best football coaches in the state of Louisiana. He's an outstanding coach. And the thing about Tim Detillier also, besides his coaching prowess, he knows how to work an official. Believe me, right now, he's not setting that up. He's setting it up for a call down the road
you can see
later in this game.
Top of your screen. Look, he's still working the referee, Paul LaRosa, on that side. And look,
well, I mean, he's going to work him. He has to work him. That's his job, and that's Paul LaRosa's job, is to hear him out. But that was not a horse collar. Clearly, we saw it on the replay. He grabbed the back of the jersey, not up around the top back, near the neck, but the lower part around the numbers, and pulled down the quarterback for the sack.
3rd down and 16 at the 28-yard line. 42 seconds to play in the half, so this is 4-down territory. Kirkland has some room to run, and he will just take it around 2 would-be tacklers, and then he gets out of bounds to stop the clock with 33 seconds to play in the half. 3 yards short of the first down, so it'll be 4th down. There's enough time to run some more clock, but you've got to get the first down.
Nothing there. He scampers out.
He knows where the marker is.
Quickly heads to the sticks, gets out of bounds so he can stop that clock right there.
Smart play. Realizing he couldn't pick up the first down, he just scampered out of bounds to stop the clock. So now it's 4th down. Call it a long 3. Belvin is up to the right with man coverage. Again, that's the tallest receiver at 6'4". Fake play, run left side. Porter breaks 1 tackle, 2, and goes down very near the goal line. Clock still running. It stops because they have to move the chains with 25 seconds on a 14-yard gain. When you needed something big from Destin Porter, the Bulldogs just got it.
De La Salle spreads everything out on defense, goes man under, and Lutcher pops it right up the center against a weak running front from De La Salle on 4th down.
Cavaliers call timeout. They want to talk this over. That is their final timeout of the half. Let's take another look at that 4th down run because that was a big play.
De La Salle goes man under with 2 defensive backs across the top. So what that does is that leaves 5 in the box to be able to run the football against. Lutcher takes advantage of the 5-man running box. The 5-man box of De La Salle does a nice job popping the inside zone right up the middle to pick up the first down and bring it down to the 2-yard line or the 1-yard line.
So what do you do if you're the Lutcher offense, and if you're going back out as the Cavalier defense? What are you expecting from this offense?
You can run the ball right here at least 1 time because you have 1 timeout. Okay?
Yep.
So, he's going to probably run the ball 1 time, see what happens. Doesn't get in, calls a timeout, and then he's going to have to set up his best pass play, which will be probably some sort of sprint out option run pass by his athletic quarterback.
Look, they're strong to the right side. Kendrick Jackson, a senior, would be leading Destin Porter on that right side run should they choose to go that way with 25 seconds to play. All right, it's a busted play. Kirkland will just take it and finds the end zone anyway and then hit lost the football. De La Salle says they have it.
Well,
I break the plane first.
I think he did break the plane first before De La Salle knocked it out.
And the official saying touchdown. The official signaling touchdown.
He was in the end zone. Ball pops out. What it started as a broken play, Ken.
It started as a broken play. Watch it again. And Rick, why Kirkland just makes it happen. Look.
Well, you could see Kirkland makes it happen, but you also saw Porter going one way, Kirkland going the other way. It was a run, but Kirkland has the ability to be able to take the ball from the broken play and stick it up into the end zone for the touchdown.
And Alec Bland boots the extra point, and Lutcher is in the lead, 7-6 with 19 seconds to play in the half. And wow, Kirkland broke the play into the end zone before he was hit hard and lost that football. What a play.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's an athletic play, and it's heads up by Kirkland, knowing to find a soft spot in the defense and to get it into the end zone. Excellent athletic play by Kirkland.
Wow. Well, this first half has been everything that you would have expected out of this game. A defensive struggle from two defenses that were allowing very few points a game. De La Salle allowing 6 points a game. Lutcher allowing 14 points a game, only 9 in district play. And the defenses have really stepped up to it, and both offenses are struggling, and even when they do move the ball, the defenses find a way to stop them. Each team has an interception.
Well, it's living up to the bill that we knew coming in here. You know, good look right there at the head coach from De La Salle, Ryan Manali, doing a great job right there with his team. Tim DeTillier does a great job with his program, and big billing, big game, and it's definitely living up to the billing. Oh, there he is. Mr. Everything kicks off also. Tell you what, he's an outstanding athlete. I love this guy.
But the only thing he doesn't do well is early in the year he struggled with field goals and extra points. That is the only thing they didn't do well, which is why Lutcher had to go for 2 against St. Amant. Whistles blow. Marker is down, and Lutcher may have been offside on the kick. Let's see. Or he might have a delay, but boy, you can take a look at a guy who's been around for a long
Yard
time.
penalty, re-kick.
Tim DeTillier. Look at the active coach wins list. And Tim DeTillier, 5th on that list from Lutcher with 260 wins. And that is only 2 short of Joe Keller, which would make DeTillier the winningest coach in River Parish history. He needs 2. Overall record 216 and 89. At Lutcher, 260 and 111 overall. In his 25th year at Lutcher, boy, he has really done a great job there. De La Salle not calling for a fair catch. They want to try to move that football forward. 15 seconds to play and just a gang tackle. Not much for Jabiel White. And De La Salle still has an opportunity to toss that football. Remember, you're looking at 2 quarterbacks that have an absolute gun for an arm. I mean, Julian Gums, only a sophomore. And, of course, Lutcher quarterback, Jean-Trey Kirkland. These 2 guys have had some zip on that football.
Well, you're looking at De La Salle with no timeouts right here, 14 seconds on the clock. Probably going to kneel it down, I would think, unless they decide to take it down the field on a vertical shot here.
If you do, watch the left side of your screen, the upper side of your screen. Christian Booker, their leading receiver, he caught the big long pass in the first quarter. They're not. They're going to settle for just a run of the football and let the first half clock run out. The only difference in the first half of play between these 2 teams is an extra point. Lutcher kicked theirs. De La Salle didn't. 7-6. The Lutcher Bulldogs with the lead after 1 half of play in the battle for District 9 3A. Back with our halftime right after this. Another look at the touchdown where Chantre Kirkland takes what looks like a busted play and finds his way into the end zone, breaks the plane, then gets hit, then loses the football, but it was already ruled touchdown by the linesman. The extra point was good, and Lutcher took a 1.76 lead into the halftime locker room. Ken Berthelot, along with Wade Kaiser and Stephanie Altman down on the field, and we talked about this being a game, a battle for the championship of District 9 3A, a defensive struggle, and it truly has been that.
Well, you've seen two great defenses so far on display tonight in the first half. You know, De La Salle with their really strong defensive line, and Lutcher with their schemes. I said it already. I love how they're getting in and out of their 3- and 4-man fronts, playing different coverages, keeping things not the same look for a De La Salle offense. It creates problems that you have to try to fix. Two outstanding defenses playing a great first half tonight.
When you look at the stats, you can see that they're pretty evenly matched. Look at rushing yards, only 1 yard difference. Passing yards pretty close, and what's interesting for the Cavaliers, they've got the 66 passing yards, but 58 of them came on that bomb in the opening series, which led to their first touchdown of the game. Total yards pretty even, turnovers, each with one, both of those being an interception by each team. Is that what you expected in this first half, Wade?
Well, I expected two really good defenses, and when you have a really strong defensive game, you're going to see stats like this. Things are going to be, you know, in retrospect, really close and really tight and almost very even. So, yeah, absolutely. Great defensive game so far, even stats. It's going to be outstanding second half to see what takes place.
Well, can't wait for the second half on this one, so stand by. We'll be back with our second half and more. But before we do, I want to remind everybody that if you have been seeing this sticker on the back of the De La Salle Cavalier helmet, MG stands for a very good friend of everybody's at De La Salle, Michael Gilgad. At WHNO, this is our first De La Salle telecast since the untimely passing, last spring of the school president, Dr. Michael Gilliat. Though he was only at De La Salle for 3 years, Gilliat made a huge impact on the positive momentum the school has generated, and we were pleased to have him as a guest in the booth each of the last 2 years. Dr. Gilliat passed away in April after a brief illness. Our continued prayers to his wife, Lisa, and to his family. Dr. Michael Gilliat will be missed by everyone. Victory Field at Joe Brown Park. What a first half. Lutcher leading De La Salle by an extra point. Ken Berthelot, Wade Kaiser, and Stephanie Altman. Lutcher had won the toss, deferred, so they will have the ball to start the second half. They score late in the first half. How much of a big momentum gainer is that for Lutcher, knowing that not only they score, but they get the football to start the second half?
Well, it was a must. They needed to score, Ken. That was big time. They knew they were getting the ball back, a little momentum on their side, but let's not forget that they had a pick down inside the red zone earlier in the second quarter. So, they've made their penetrations down inside the red zone. They need to make sure every time they're in there, they come away with something. And we all know they're struggling with the field goal kicking end of things. They're always looking to make sure that they get the 6 where they don't have to put themselves in a field goal kicking type of situation.
Well, neither team wanted to make mistakes, and each quarterback threw one interception. There were no other mistakes in the first half. Almost one for Lutcher, but by golly, Kirkland broke the plane of the end zone before he fumbled that football away. So the fumble didn't matter because the play was dead once he scored and broke the plane. So by virtue of the deferment, after the opening coin toss and kickoff, Lutcher will start the second half, and we are set to go. Flynn Labreche with a short kick will come down at the 25-yard line to Adams, and Adams with a short return. Still going. Look at him just somehow move the rugby scrum, fumbles it, and Lutcher jumps on the ball at the 41-yard line. My goodness. Let's go downstairs to Stephanie to see what the coaches had to say coming out of the locker room.
Thank you, Ken. I caught up with both coaches at halftime. As for De La Salle, Coach Manawi just wants his offense to start moving the ball more and stop making mistakes. He's also worried about the fatigue starting to set in on his players. It's very humid here tonight, Ken. As for Coach Detillier, he said that they just couldn't get a break in the first half. He, too, wants his team to stop making mistakes. He thought there'd be a few more points on the board, but he says they're going to keep fighting until they get them there. Ken, back to you.
Interesting comments by both of the coaches. Any surprise comments as you look at it, Wade?
Well, the bottom line is they want to get a little bit more consistency on offense. I know both coaches want to be able to do that, but it's hard to do against real good defenses.
A reach down low and a pickup by Clayton. That says it's an incomplete pass. He trapped it on the ground. Almost a great pickup by Gregory Clayton, the sophomore.
Well, the ball's there. That guy's still running. Here we go. Here we go. It's the catch on the bubble.
Yeah.
Oh,
it looks like
goodness.
Well, did he?
I'll tell you what. To me,
I thought he touched the ground. I really did.
Well, I'm gonna say it did. So here we go. I don't know if that touched the ground or not. Somebody needs to throw the red flag.
Yeah. If they only had challenges in high school football. Second down, Ken Kirkland. Look at this catch by Dontre Davis, and Davis diving forward for the first down in De La Salle territory at the 46-yard line.
Lutcher found it and made an adjustment at halftime, Ken. They're going to the 3-receiver side where De La Salle's not making the adjustment. They went to the 3-receiver side right there that time, and there was an open receiver.
Here's that first play. Was it a bounce or not? Now watch, he catches it. Oh, yeah, I thought he bounced.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. What great eyes you have. It's like the three little pigs. What great eyes
Little
you
Red
have.
Riding Hood once.
I'll tell you what. Awesome. I tell you what, there's no loss of sight in that vision, buddy. I tell you what. That surgery you had, that's awesome.
Second down at 15, Davon Adams is the running back. Porter in motion. And Kirkland will almost gets horse-collared. And then it slows him down enough to be gang tackled. And who leads the gang tackle but David Gregg?
Once again, that was off of the jet sweep. He pulls the ball out and tries to go opposite the jet sweep. You can see right here. Here comes the motion. Oh, I'm sorry. Zone read right there. He pulls the ball and he goes back against the formation where the blocking was. There was nobody out here to tackle or to block these guys. A whole lot of maroon out here waiting for him.
Third down, 14. Long way to go for the Bulldogs to keep this drive alive. The opening drive of the second half. Aldontre Davis drops it. He had it, would not have made the first down. He was far away. He would have had to do some fancy running to move the chains.
Hit him right in the hands, drops the ball, brings up 4th and long.
So getting that first possession of the second half does not help the Lutcher Bulldogs, and Trevor Cormedell is in to punt.
You know what's great? I love to see the adjustments that are made at halftime by both teams when they come out of the locker room. And I saw some big-time adjustments on both sides of the ball, not only defensively from De La Salle that time, but also from Lutcher, and I'll expand on that in a few minutes.
Well, he had a wind behind him, but it was a low-line drive punt. He gets a great De La Salle roll. It's all the way down to the 13-yard line, and that's a 51-yard punt. Lutcher and De La Salle fans, Mellow Mushroom will donate 10% of your order to your school's athletics department now through Saturday. Stop by the Metairie or Covington locations, tell your server, and give back to your school with the best pizza in town. And don't forget to stay mellow at the Mellow Mushroom.
While they have an injury down on the field, let me expand on what I saw coming out. I talked about in the first half how De La Salle was not covering up the third receiver in the 3-by-1 formations or the 3-by-2 formations of Lutcher. Well, that time, in that series, I saw De La Salle, after the second snap in the series, actually make an adjustment by coming out and covering the third receiver with the linebacker and going to a one-high secondary. That means one defensive back high, a free safety, rather than two, which is what they were playing more of in the first half. But what did I see from Lutcher? I saw Lutcher come out and attack the 3-by-1 formation to the 3-receiver side on the second play of the series when De La Salle had not made the adjustment yet. So they found it at halftime, but so did De La Salle. De La Salle found out what they were doing and made an adjustment right after that second play in the series. Beautiful adjustments by both teams. Outstanding coaches on both sides of the field, taking a look and making sure that they've got the adjustments that they needed to make and coming out and putting those in at half for the second half.
Well, you know, when this game is over tonight, it won't be over for either one of these teams. They're both excellent football teams, and Stephanie Altman has a little bit more, but especially at De La Salle, the game is never over when it's over. As Yogi says, it ain't over till it's over. Well, it ain't over even when it's over at De La Salle. Stephanie Altman tells you why. We will get back to Stephanie in just a moment. And for the Cavaliers, Devontae LeBranch, who had the interception for De La Salle, being helped off the field. And you hate to see that because he's one of their starters, one of their real hard hitters in the defensive backfield, and gave the Cavaliers their 15th interception of the year tonight.
Looks like he's out working with cramps on both of his hamstrings, Ken.
Yeah, he was in pain. Julian Gums in at quarterback. And he will hand it off to Miles Ward. Ward, excellent at going to the outside. Gets spun around by the jersey and thrown out of bounds at the 24-yard line. A gain of 12, and the Cavaliers move the chains on first down.
Running the lead sweep to the De La Salle right side right here. There's the lead. Here comes out there the blocking back. There's a nice kick-out block. And you see Ward's taken around the boundary and gets thrown out of bounds by Anthony Brown. Nice pickup right there for the Cavaliers. That's the way to get things going coming into the second half.
Again, both teams use no huddle. We have seen Lutcher pick up the pace toward the end of the first half. De La Salle not in any hurry, and we're playing without a 25-second clock. It's being kept by the officials on the field. Ward again tries the other side and fights his way up to the 30-yard line for a gain of 5.
Still running the lead sweep in the opposite direction right there, but what you saw is you saw two guards pull, one in one direction and one in the other direction. I don't know if that's a bust by one of the guards or not. They're lucky they didn't run into themselves. I've seen it before.
Well, they mark it back at the 24-yard line, and Gabrielle White now comes into the game at running back. Second down, 6 for De La Salle. They split 2 wides to the right side, including Christian Booker, who is in the slot. Now they overload the right side. But they'll just keep and run to the right side. Guns gains 3, so it's 3rd down and short now. 3rd down and 3.
De La Salle has moved the tight end Sean Monconduit, I hope I pronounced that correct, into the backfield. He's working as a blocking back, as a fullback, 6 foot, 240 pounds. You can see him right there lining up with a 2-back backfield, and they're running more of their power game right now with Monconduit doing the blocking and the kick-out blocking, the lead blocking for the De La Salle offense.
Cavaliers need 3. They need to get to the 35-yard line. Gums on the handoff. Ward loves that sweep, and he's got it and much more all the way up to the 41-yard line. 1st down, De La Salle.
Lead sweep again with big number 80. Monconduit outside doing the blocking. You can see Ward coming around the right side. Great block right there. Great block right there. Picks up the 1st down. You can see how they've gotten into their power running back scheme by going 2 backs in the backfield, being able to use Monconduit as the lead blocker. They're looking over there, getting their play. He becomes the lead blocker in the backfield now, where they're going to get an extra blocker at the point of attack.
Miles Ward has had the last few carries, number 13. You can see him breathing hard. And both coaches talked about at halftime with Stephanie Altman down on the field about it being a little humid. Movement all over the place. Markers fly. And the Cavaliers will have motion.
Q offense, 5-yard penalty. Down.
False start by the whole right side of the De La Salle offensive line right there, fixing a block down, and they left a little bit early.
Cavaliers have been explosive, and you can see it here.
Yep, oops. You can't do that. Oops. And then you know what's great? I love how when that happens, I kind of love offensive linemen. They kind of stand up and look around going, look, who, me?
Play action. Gums with a good arm. He's going for Booker, and it's knocked away. Double coverage, and excellent coverage that time by Ethan Bland and Anthony Brown. And Booker's hurt. Oh, my goodness. He's their leading receiver, and he is just writhing in pain.
It's a streak route right here by Booker. Very nice job by the Bulldogs secondary, getting on top and staying on top and knocking the ball away. Looks like he came down on that shoulder. Let's hope it is not a collarbone injury. They've had one of those already earlier in the year with their quarterback in week 3, Quincy Cage.
Yeah, and Cage is out for we say out for the season. He might get back a week or 2 before the Superdome if the Cavaliers can go that far.
Well, they got Booker off the field. They're assessing the injury. Let's hope it's nothing bad.
2nd down, 15 to go for the 1st. Gums changes the play for the lineman. Hand off. Cavaliers keep it on the ground, and there is a hole over the right side. And once again, Miles Ward churns, and a flag is thrown high in the air at the 45-yard line. One of the Lutcher defensive linemen very, very slow to get up. And that is Ben St. Pierre, one of the guys they can't afford to lose. He plays both ways. He's the offensive center. He plays either at a linebacker or defensive line position, and he's hurting on his knees.
Illegal participation. 65 playing without a helmet. 15-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Rule came in 2 years ago, Ken. Once your helmet comes off, you got to stop playing. What happened was the helmet came off. He's got to leave now for a play. But what happened is he continued to play without his helmet. We saw this a few weeks ago in a game we did where the player got his helmet pulled off and continued to play, and there was the same penalty. Here's a look at it right here over your right-hand side. You can see the helmet falling to the ground. The player must immediately stop playing at that point. If he doesn't stop playing, then you're going to get a penalty, and it's going to negate the play. I mean, it's a tough on a kid because the kid wants to still keep playing because of his competitive nature, but it's all for the injury effect to make sure that the player is safe.
That makes it 2nd down and 19. Gums, he throws one that just lofts it up like a wounded duck, and we've got interference. That time, B.J. Randall could not catch up to the football. He had to slow down for it, and then a little bump by Lutcher on a play that probably should have just been an underthrown incomplete pass.
Interference on the Bulldogs. Ball was poorly thrown. Receiver trying to come back to catch the ball, and he got his jersey yanked, and so thus they're going to call interference. That is not an automatic first down.
That's right.
Interference. 4 defense. 15-yard penalty. Replay 2nd down.
And remember, you had 2nd and 19, so now you've got 2nd down and 4.
Good look at it. He's coming back for the ball. You see the hand right there, yank.
Yeah.
On his jersey, and that was really kind of touchy, but De La Salle gets the interference call.
And Gums usually throws a rocket. That one just got away from him. It slipped off his hand. You talk about it being very humid down there. Could be perspiration on the hand. The ball just got away from him. And the Bulldogs offer up a big gift to the Cavaliers. And this time, Gums caught from behind. Nowhere to go, but he did. All he had to do was move the chains, and he did it. Good tackle that time by Courtney Davis.
He pulls the ball off the zone read and escapes over the right-hand side of the De La Salle offensive line and does a nice job picking up the first down.
He needed 4. He got 5. That's all you wanted out of that was to move the chains, and the Cavaliers have traded the big play for the long sustained drive, and right now they're having success with the sustained drive. Lutcher took the second half kickoff, had to punt it away, did nothing with it, and it's been the De La Salle Cavaliers football on this drive ever since. Now they're on Lutcher's side of the 50 at the 48. Gums drops back. He's in trouble and escapes. Here comes a flag being tossed in. And he's just on the run, tackled at the 42-yard line, but this one's probably coming back.
Well, he escaped right there. No place to go. And tucks the ball, gets out of there, but you're going to probably, as we already have seen, not probably, but we do have a holding penalty on De La Salle.
Lutcher was so attuned to the fact that they could not.
Holding. 57 offense. 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
They could not create penalties in this football game, and De La Salle, after being given a gift on the pass interference by the Lutcher Bulldogs, hurt themselves with this big mark-off.
They got big number 57, Jeremiah James, for the De La Salle offense on the holding.
That moves it back and make it, my goodness, 30 yards to go for the first down. 1st and 30 for the Cavaliers at their own 32-yard line. So this time Gums will keep. Can he make anything happen himself? He can't. He's stuffed. Nowhere to go. Leading the charge, Wattis.
Nowhere to go right there, just trying to pick half of it back up. They run quarterback draw. You really don't have a call on your play sheet for 1st and 30, so what do? You try to pick yourself something where you can pick up at least part of it to set up a second, and somewhere, hopefully, that is a little bit better number for you could go back on your play sheet and make a call. I never had a call for a 1st and 30.
Not even the old hook and ladder, huh?
No. There's no calls for 1st and 30, Ken. None.
How about 2nd and 31?
No calls for that either.
Doesn't help either, does it? Calvary Baptist had 2nd and 84 a few weeks ago. I don't know if you remember that.
Yes,
you don't
I
have
did.
a call for 2nd and 31. You definitely don't have one for 2nd and 84.
Well, Calvary Baptist.
Here's another flag down. We may approach 2nd down in 84. Let's
Prior
see.
to the snap. Ball start.
Oh, my.
The offense. 5-yard penalty.
You talk about that Calvary Baptist, that 2nd and 84. That had to make some sort of prep national record to be able to convert that.
Goodness. Yeah, I believe their coach had gotten tossed from the game as part of all those penalties, so he wasn't around to make a call for that.
Oh, smart guy. He didn't want to make a call for 2nd and 84.
Yeah, can you blame him? Right now, De La Salle just needs to give itself some room. And they won't get much on that one. So Lutcher is in excellent shape here. And we were watching earlier as Ben St. Pierre, he's wearing number 68 as a defensive back. Before this year, he wore number 10 as a defensive back. But he's a big guy. He's got mobility. And he's so unselfish. They lost so many linemen, the Lutcher Bulldogs did, that he traded in 10 for a linesman number. And is the offensive center. He's the center on offense. And then on defense, he'll either play back as a safety or he'll play at a linebacker spot if they need him. Gums on the run, trying to make something happen. He will throw to B.J. Randall. Randall gets a few yards back, but he is way short of the first down. But wait a minute, here's a flag thrown. So we've got a late penalty. Penalty marker came down after Randall and got back up to his feet.
Things starting to get a little sloppy here at the 4-minute, 54-second mark in the third quarter.
Wow. Neither head coach can be happy with that. And both teams look totally out of sync right now.
Yeah, they both do. I mean, that's where you need to try to settle yourself down and offensively try to get something going as far as getting back in between the sticks.
There are 2 fouls on a play on the offense. Blocking it back. 4. That penalty's declined. Personal foul. Accepted. Half repeat, third down.
Well, Tim Detillier from Lutcher accepts the personal foul. They're going to mark it off 15 on the personal foul from the spot of the foul, it looks like, and bring up
Well, Ron Benally's looking to see, what do I have for 3rd and 48?
3rd and 48.
On my play sheet.
He needs to call Calvary Baptist and see what they did. You know, it's 3rd and 48. What do you do?
Remember back in the old days when the colleges would just drop back and punt on 3rd down and sometimes 3rd down and much shorter than this. Just in case something bad would happen on the punt, they had a 4th down. They had another down to use the punt. Don't see that anymore.
Well, Tim Detillier obviously takes the personal foul. It's the longer penalty right there. They had 2 penalties on the play, a block in the back and another personal foul. Took the personal foul penalty and sets up this 48-yard 3rd down.
Well, just chunk one long. Gums does. He's going long, and it's almost intercepted, intended for Eddie Minor. And it was bobbled, and was that St. Pierre?
Well, you know, that's your punt.
Paul Joseph, 11 plays, 2 net yards, and took over 6 minutes off the clock on that De La Salle drive.
Well, you know,
wow.
Depending on this punt, you might have wanted to keep the punt as the interception because that would have been your punt on 3rd down, kid. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I think that was Paul Joseph on the bobble, but he almost intercepted. But look, that was as good as a punt on 3rd down. Even if it would have been intercepted, it was as good as a punt on 3rd down. And guess what? If your guy gets it, you're still not going to get the first, but you're close to it. So now Gums will punt from his end zone, steps out to about the 1-yard line, and he hooked it to the left. So it's not a great punt, but at least it gets De La Salle out of a little bit of a hole close to their own goal line. So with that, we will take a timeout. Lutcher still leading by 1. Lutcher with great field position at the 28-yard line of the Cavaliers after Gums hooked a punt to the left, about only 15 yards on the punt. And now Kirkland, little shovel pass forward, and just not much for Kendrick Jackson. But right now Lutcher in the driver's seat at the 4-minute mark of the 3rd quarter.
That's the old Utah shovel pass you used to see Utah run when Urban Meyer was the head coach there. It's actually a triple option.
Kirkland in the backfield by himself, naked back there. Changes the play from the sideline. Has 5 wideouts. Looking to the left, throwing it down into the turf, intended for Kendrick Jackson, incomplete.
Lutcher goes empty right there, and De La Salle changes their defense when they went to empty. They went to a one-high coverage, and nobody to throw the ball to right there. De La Salle had everybody covered up, and I don't know if Kirkland threw it into the ground or if the ball just came out of his hand funny.
3rd down, 8 to go. To keep this drive alive, and it may be 4-down territory for Lutcher. Kirkland. He will keep, spins into the line, bounces off the pile, is caught, is driven back, and there's just nowhere to go. And if De La Salle needed a defensive play, big Danquan Edwards gave it to him after a 2-yard gain. So it'll be 4th down, and what does Lutcher do?
Nowhere to go on that play. Danquan Edwards does a great job. Off the zone read, the pull by Kirkland. Bang, right there. Runs into a wall of maroon. Great pursuit. Look at those maroon helmets getting to the ball. What do, Ken? You got to go for it because you can't get the field goal here. It's 4th-down territory.
Well, even if he's within his range, you're kicking against the wind. Low snap. Kirkland picks it up. Has a wide open Davis. And Dontre Davis finds his way to the end zone for the touchdown. How did Davis get so open? And Lutcher has opened up the lead over the De La Salle Cavaliers. A 24-yard touchdown.
Great throw and catch right there from Kirkland to Aldontre Davis. We'll see on the replay an excellent route by Davis. Gets himself wide open in the middle of the De La Salle zone, and Chantre Kirkland puts it right on the money for the 6.
Alec Bland, the sophomore. High snap, flag down, hold everything. Well, that ball just sailed over not only the holder's head, but also the kicker, Alec Bland's head. Interesting story with Alec Bland.
Snap, encroachment, 90 defense, half the distance to the...
Tim Detillier just had trouble finding a kicker early on and was going for 2, which is what he did against St. Amant when they missed it and lost by 1 point earlier after 2 wins over 5A schools, Dutchtown and West Jeff. And then he's working with Alec Bland, and with good coaching, Alec Bland comes around and has turned into be a pretty strong-legged kicker, kicking both extra points for a 14-6 Lutcher lead as we look at Dontre Davis find the end zone. A 4-play, 28-yard drive, which took 1 minute off the clock. Lutcher had great field position with all the craziness before, where De La Salle netted 2 yards in 6 minutes and had 41 yards to go for a first at 1 point. Now the Cavaliers take the football and they're trailing by 8 by 1 score. Chavial White, left side run on the return, and he gets out of bounds. Let's go downstairs to Stephanie to find out what happens at De La Salle after a game.
Thank you, Ken. Tailgating has been a tradition of sports fans since the early 1800s. Fans generally gather before the game to celebrate, but at De La Salle they do things a little bit differently. They've recently started a new ritual of post-game tailgating. After the game, students, parents, and fans all return back to their campus on St. Charles for an on-campus tailgate party. Ken, back to you.
Nick Nucio, before the game, he set up the kitchen area.
I'm hungry.
I'm going to tell you,
Wow, that looked awesome.
Makes you want to talk about quick exits. Exiting a stadium after a game, you're getting back to De La Salle for the fun. Well, here's a pass caught by Christian Booker, the leading receiver, looking for more, and he can't find it. But he moves the chains, and the Cavaliers now have to play on this drive with a little bit of a sense of urgency, even though there's lots of time to go. We're still in the third quarter, 2:53.
Nice job off the play action right there. They faked the power play, pulled the ball down. Gums throws it out there and hits Booker right in the middle of the zone. And great pickup there for De La Salle.
Tell you what's good to see is Christian Booker back in the game. Remember, number 7 was hurt on that long pass play. It looked like he had come down on his shoulder, but he's okay, back in there. And again, as a big, tall, 6'4" senior, they count on his height and speed to be the go-to guy at the wide receiver spot. First down for the Cavaliers. Miles Ward, he has been tough running not only to the outside, but picking seams on the inside, gaining 5 to the 49. Tackled there by Tyler Williams.
You talk about Booker, Ken. He's a Nicholls State commit, and I really like the way Tim Rebo has been getting these early commitments around the New Orleans area, recruiting heavily in the New Orleans area, picking up a lot of kids from the from all of the schools around the vicinity. I tell you what, he's going to do great things down at Nicholls State.
30 yards rushing on 13 carries. All in the second half. And here he goes again. Ward, left side. He's got the first down. That's all he wanted on the left side sweep, was to move the chains. And he got it.
Well, there's the lead sweep again with Munkin out front doing the block. And look, number 80 right there doing the block on the lead block. And then you see Ward getting outside on the left edge. Fresh legs getting out on the edge for the lead sweep right there. Nice pickup.
Ethan Bland with the tackle for Lutcher. De La Salle moving on the Lutcher side of the 50 at the Bulldog 43. Julian Gums. No speed offense, even though they're no huddle. Trying up the middle this time, an initial hit, and then that second push. You're going to mark him down at the 41-yard line. Getting off the bottom of that pile, who else but Sully Lesh?
Nice job by Sully Lesh right there.
And Raynell Hayes.
Yes, Raynell Hayes. Nice job, number 53 from the Lutcher Bulldogs. Does a nice job.
Again, Ryan Manali making sure the right play gets in there. De La Salle taking their time with that.
Well, they're taking their time, but I tell you what I like. I like how they're starting to mix up their formations a little bit. They're going 2 back, 1 back. They're not panicking. They're staying with and coming with some more of their power running game, which is obviously helping them out here.
Right up the middle goes Miles Ward again, and Ward hit and driven back, but Ward is picking up 5, 6, 7 yards a carry. That's what the Cavaliers want. We are down to the 35-second mark in the third quarter.
Nice shot right there by the inside ISO, leading the fullback, Munkin up onto the linebacker. A double team at the point of attack, and that's why they call it an isolation. They're isolating a linebacker at the point of attack.
Third down. Call it a long 4. Ward again, look at this hole over the right side. He's got the first down and is out of bounds with 11 seconds to play in the third quarter. Miles Ward is faster. He's got deceptive speed on the outside. When he turns on the afterburners, he can move around that corner quickly.
Well, I tell you what, great run by Miles Ward, but I tell you what, an outstanding block by a guy named B.J. Randall, a sophomore wide receiver, who does a great job blocking out on the edge, allowing Ward to pop that thing into the secondary. I love to see wide receivers block. You know, they've got to be physical. It's not about always catching the ball. They've got to be asked to do things on the edge and be able to block, and that was a great job right there by B.J. Randall.
Middle halfback option, man wide open. There's your touchdown to B.J. Randall. He blocked well on the last play. It's rewarded for it by catching the touchdown pass right here, thrown by Christian Booker on the end around.
I tell you what,
wide out to wide out.
You do a great job blocking, you're going to get your number called to catch a touchdown pass. I tell you what, great job. They had run the sweep 3 or 4 times in that series, and they set it up, and nice little stalk and go right there by B.J. Randall, who ends up in the end zone with a touchdown.
They are going for 2 after missing the extra point. Ryan Manali just screaming.
You can't make a mistake here. You got to get in the right formation. They were not in the right formation. They weren't lined up right. They don't have the right personnel on the field. You got to take a timeout in this situation. And this 2-point conversion is just too important.
Yeah, because and look, they've got a fine kicker in Flynn LaBreche, but he had just hooked one outside, just outside of the upright after the first De La Salle touchdown. Cavaliers scored first, took a 6-0 lead. Right before halftime, Lutcher scores, kicks the point, 7-6, halftime Lutcher. Then Lutcher comes out, goes ahead, 14-6, and now the Cavaliers are going to try for the 2-point play. Here's your little same play. And this time, again, it's hit for the score, and to Julian Gums himself, who's in the end zone, and he catches it. How is that for a little razzle-dazzle?
Little reverse pass right there. They show the reverse. Julian Gums slips out into the end zone.
Wait a minute. We have a flag down, I believe. I don't see it, but the official is signaling. Well, what is Ryan Manali? He's out there on the field.
Ineligible downfield. 65 offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay the point.
Wow. Wow, that's Jalen Haydell on the offensive line.
You know, that's one of the faults with the little trick pass like that on a reverse pass. One of your linemen might sneak out downfield by accident. They got him. So that's going to negate that 2 points. They're going to have to back the ball up, and they get another shot.
Wow, my goodness. And the razzle-dazzle was so pretty with Julian Gums, the quarterback, catching it. Now they're going to go the other way, throws the ball behind the receiver, and De La Salle misses the 2-point play intended for Christian Booker. But he slipped down, tried to go back for that ball, and the 2-point conversion fails. Look at the touchdown. Booker to Randall. Bingo.
They lined Miles Ward up. They lined Miles Ward up at the Wildcat position, and they lined up Julian Gums, the quarterback, at the fullback position, who slips out of the backfield into the end zone off the reverse pass thrown by Booker. Too bad. Lineman downfield negates the 2 points, and they're going to back it up. So
that was on the 2-point play. The previous play, of course, was the touchdown play. And well, I'll tell you what, a lot of razzle-dazzle pulled off. But, hey, you got a 72-yard drive, and De La Salle gets points. Remember, the Cavaliers do have an excellent field goal kicker, but he will not have the wind in the fourth quarter. So with 4 seconds to play in the third quarter, if it comes down to a field goal, LaBreche will be kicking into the wind. Well, I say that. There was more of a wind when this game started. I'm looking at the flags behind the goalpost now, and there was almost no wind down on the field. It wasn't a strong wind. It was probably about 5 to 10 miles an hour earlier tonight. But the flags are hardly moving as we look at them in the right end zone. There you see them.
Well,
not much of a breeze at all.
Not much of a breeze. You're going to get a little gust here, gust a little there in front of the front. That's expected to come through later tomorrow. But I tell you what, I like the way things were set up on that series by De La Salle. You had some lead sweeps, you had some power plays, you have the lead sweep, and then you have the sweep pass. I just love the way things were set up. Everything kind of choreographed together. Caught Lutcher kind of sleeping on the sweep pass right there. And you see the result. It's a 14-12 ball game. 46 seconds left to go in the third quarter.
So the Cavaliers do kick it deep. And that is Jackson. And Jackson has a seam. Look out, he breaks a tackle. Jackson, with 2 men to beat, being chased from behind and wrestled down inside the 30-yard line. On the final play of the third quarter, a flag is thrown at about the 38-yard line, about 5-10 yards behind the tackle. So hold everything as the officials sort this out. But Kendrick Jackson lights it up here with a return deep into De La Salle territory. Yeah, 68-yard return, depending on, well, the 68-yard return. Let's see what the penalty happens.
Well, they're discussing possibly the penalty and the placement of the penalty. And here's our call.
Our referee is Paul LaRosa.
There are multiple fouls on the play. 14 defense. That penalty's declined. Holding. 5 defense. That penalty's accepted. Personal foul. Offense. Penalty's offset. Free kick. We kick it over. Free
wow. Well, we'll kick it over.
Wow, that is that's something.
This will be an untimed down on the re-kick. No time left on the clock in the third quarter. But because of the offsetting penalties, we'll have a re-kick. It wipes out a 68-yard return.
Well, here's the first thing I'm going to do. All right, if I'm De La Salle, right now I'm not kicking the ball deep to that guy.
I'm not kicking it to 23, folks. That's who Kendrick Jackson is. I'm not kicking it to 23. The other deep back is Tariq Belvin. Or Gregory Clayton. They're also deep, and I may kick it to one of those other wide receivers.
Well, I'm going to probably sky kick the ball, squib the ball. I'm just not going to put it into Kendrick Jackson's hands, all right, because I'm living to play another down right here, even though it's an untimed down going into the fourth quarter, coming out of the third. I'm not kicking it to Kendrick Jackson. And number two, I've got to, De La Salle has had a whole lot of penalties in this third quarter. They need to clean some of that stuff up.
Turnovers and penalties, set yourself back, can be the biggest drawbacks to a victory. Now let's see if they take your advice, Coach, and squib it, sky kick it. But here goes Jackson and Clayton. They're the two wide receivers. Well, actually, they put Davon Adams back there. Jackson's taking a breather. Oh, they're moving Jackson up. So they moved Kendrick Jackson up to the 20-yard line and put Davon Adams back. Both of them are running backs. Both of them are very fast.
It's real simple. Find 23. Don't kick the ball.
Well, 23 is at the bottom of your screen at the 20-yard line. So
don't kick him the ball.
Don't kick him the ball.
It's that simple.
Don't kick him
the
ball.
Kick it someplace
Absolutely
else,
right.
not to 23.
You may want to go the other way with it. Of course, the very dangerous Aldontre Davis is playing the middle of the four corners back there. So let's see how Flynn LaBreche kicks this football. He's got it teed up at the 40. And they're going to send it deep to Adams. He's a running back with the same kind of speed that Jackson had. Look at Adams. Here's another penalty flag thrown. So we may not be ending the third quarter yet. Hold on.
I think you're going to see a block in the back this time on the kick return team. There you go.
There it is. You called it. You saw it.
Block in the back. It'll be from the spot.
Block in the back, 22 return team. Penalties accepted. We will play an untimed down.
Another untimed. Yep.
You can't,
because
you cannot end the quarter on a penalty. That is accepted.
Penalty. Yes.
So they will play an untimed down going into the fourth quarter. And here is your block in the back.
Boom.
There. That is a block in the back. They got.
Somebody was trying to take Josh Paul out of it.
22. They got Rashawn Preston right there.
Yep. He was trying to put a block on Josh Paul. So here we go with a second untimed down before the official end of the third quarter. Boy, this has been a third quarter like we have not seen on any quarter of the first NBC Bank Prep Showcase all year.
It's called Lanyap.
Kirkland, he wants to keep it and might wish he hadn't, because he just runs into a wall and then springs back, bounces back. He's hit real hard, and that will finally end the third quarter of play. After 3, each team has scored twice, but Lutcher has kicked the 2 extra points for the lead. In most of the
right.
year.
Well, and it has been, but they're trying to make sure they spring him somehow and create some sort of big play. And
we're going to have a measurement, by the way. Chains coming out.
You know, so they need to be a little more diversified here in trying to get the ball out here to their wide receivers and cover against the coverages and things of that nature, because John Trey Kirkland is going to.
He got it, by the way, first down.
Right, he's getting all jammed up right here, and you know. I'd like to see them spread the ball around. They've got some nice athletes out here on the edge. Get the ball to the running back a little bit more. The Porter running back. And I tell you what, they need to try to get the ball spread out a little bit more to take a little pressure off of Chauncey Kirkland.
Importance of this drive. Lutcher has the score and the clock in their favor. A score here makes it a 2-score ball game over De La Salle. Davon Adams can't hang on to it. He reaches, can't pull it in, incomplete.
Trying to set up a screen over there on the left-hand side. Maybe they were listening to me right there.
Yeah.
Trying to get the ball into another athlete's hands. They tried to set up the screen, and Kirkland just slightly overthrew him. There was a screen off of Lutcher's left edge.
Second down, 10. The very dangerous Destin Porter now lines up in the backfield by Jean-Trey Kirkland. Here's Kirkland. He's looking. Oh, overshoots a wide open Destin Porter. And now that brings up 3rd down 10 for Lutcher.
Wide open, you're right. Just to overthrow him real high. Looks like
we have a flag down. Hold on.
The legal procedure. It's just going to back things up, put them behind the sticks, and take them off the track here. It was declined. It's going to bring up the 3rd down.
Well, I'd rather have 3rd and 10 than 2nd and 15, so I like Ron Manali's decision on that. You've got to trust your defense, and your defense, especially in this quarter, seems to have the momentum. Here's 3rd down 10. Kirkland on the roll, Kirkland on the throw. They've got the 1st down, and they got the catch from Aldontre Davis when they needed it. He needed 10, and he got 11.
I like how he threw the ball right there. That's the way to get the ball out on time right there to a nice little stop curl route by Aldontre Davis.
Chains route. He knew where the chains were.
Nice catch. Nice pickup for the 1st down. Let's spread that ball around. Let's get into some of those guys' hands. You can see how Lutcher is spreading their offense to try to spread out the De La Salle defense.
Sustained drive also eats some clock for the Bulldogs. Kirkland, a keeper, is grabbed from behind. They're trying to strip that ball. Kirkland protects it. And I got to tell you, De La Salle doing a good job trying to reach in there and strip it. David Trangreg.
Trying to reach in there, strip the ball out. Kirkland's holding the ball very tight, high and tight, up on his rib cage, stuck into the bicep. Doing a nice job holding on the ball and taking care of ball security. 2nd
down 8. Kirkland working from the gun as he has most of the game. Here's a tip. It's up for grabs, and nobody can get it off the fingertips of Gregory Clayton.
Right off his fingertips. Just a little highly thrown right there by Kirkland. That could have been the old tip drill right there. Here's the tip. Everybody in maroon scrambling to try to get back to the ball.
So now another 3rd down by Lutcher on this drive. 3rd down 8 at the 46. Kirkland changes the play. Look at his numbers on the screen. Here's Kirkland. He's throwing long. He's got a man down there, but Davis can't catch up to the football. And I'm not sure if he was throwing for Davis or trying to hit one of the other receivers streaking down the sideline. Davis looked like he was the closest man to the football. Aldontre Davis, number 2.
Well, the ball was kind of thrown out there in no man's land. 2 vertical routes by the 2 Lutcher wide receivers. Ball just thrown out there. Kind of not up for anybody. You'd have to sit down and interview him and see who he was throwing the ball to on that. It was kind of out in no man's land.
Well, that brings up 4th down for Lutcher. And once again, you say this should be a punting situation with Booker deep, but with Tim Detillier, you never know. Trevor Cormedell, the punter, is also a backup quarterback. And timeout is called, so we will take one here. Timeout on the field, 14-12. Lutcher with the lead. Back with their punt or maybe in a moment. Now we'll see if Lutcher punched the football or not. Cormedell stands at his own 32. No rush at all. And he hooks one to the left side that goes out of bounds. Well, let's see where they're going to mark it officially. I thought it might be at about the 30. They're bringing it all the way up to the 34-yard line.
Looks like one of your 7-irons.
Yeah. And
he kind of hooked it off his foot over there out of bounds, huh?
wasn't a long punt at all. By the way, if you're interested in purchasing a DVD copy of this event, send an email to prep@sportsnova.com. That's prep, P-R-E-P, or call our offices at 504-681-0120 during normal business hours. You'll receive a reply with more information on purchasing the DVDs. De La Salle football, and they have some catching up to do. They're down by 2, 8:46 to play. Have the ball at their own 34-yard line. Handoff. Little mix-up in the backfield. Ward got tripped up, and Miles Ward nowhere to go. Lost yardage on the play.
Tell you what, Lutcher sat down on the sidelines and said, hey, we're going to have to stop this lead sweep, and here's how you do it. Rashawn Preston right there in the backfield to break things up. Or, excuse me, Dylan Ricotta right there in the backfield to break things up. Force the play now. He comes off the edge and forces it and makes a nice play.
Loss of 2, second down, 12. Cavaliers have to move the chains. They cannot afford to flip the field in this situation. There goes Gums on the run. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage and goes down. No more than that.
He was pressured by Dontel Johnson that time, coming from his outside linebacker position. We'll see number 7 right here, forcing him to step up and get out of the pocket, not to be able to look downfield and see if he had a receiver open.
Wattis with help from others, and now all of a sudden the Cavaliers are looking at 3rd down 10. Julian Gums, the sophomore quarterback, never thought he would be playing the entire season at quarterback. Hands it off to Miles Ward. He needs to break a tackle. Ward's a foot race to the sideline, and he's short of the first down, knocked out at the 42-yard line. The first down marker is at the 44.
A little trickeration right there. A little direct snap to Miles Ward. Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
it's the old hideout play.
Yes.
The old hideout play. Put the ball in his back, wait for 1001, 1002, try to get everybody else to chase the other motion man coming through and go out the back door. He needed to wait a little longer.
Yeah, they almost did. You know, what hurt there is the nose of that football was sticking out between his arm and his jersey, and you could see it. But I like the trickeration.
Well, he
by
needed
these coaches, a little chicanery.
He needed to wait a tad bit longer. The old rule on that is 1001, 1002, 1003. But if you're standing there holding the ball trying to hide it and everybody else is hunting for it, you're getting out of there real quick.
4th down 2 in punt formation. Remember, Gums, the quarterback, is also the punter. And flags go down. Did they take too much time? I didn't see anybody move. Remember, there's no play clock at Victory Field.
Can't do that.
Prior to the snap.
Yeah.
Ball start.
Right.
57, offense.
Let me tell you what you
5-yard
saw.
penalty. Remains 4th down.
So number 57, the right guard, decided that he wanted to shift over to the other side of the offense, but he didn't want to do that, so he went back to his right guard position. That's an illegal shift. That's illegal procedure. That's going to be a 5-yard penalty.
Well, if you were going to fake it, it's going to be a whole lot harder to do it now. Remember, 7:29 to play. We are in the 4th quarter. De La Salle was looking at 4th and 2 after the procedure. Now it's 4th and 7. Gums back at his own 22-yard line. Low snap. He's going to run around. It is a fake. They're going to throw downfield, and the players get mixed up. Here comes the flag. The flag is thrown, and that was intended for Josh Paul. I didn't think they'd fake it once they got the procedure penalty, the motion penalty, rather. And sure enough, they do anyway, and with the help of interference, it's going to be a Cavalier first down.
Well, he escapes from the end position over the right-hand side of the punt formation, streaks down the field. You had the punter, Julian Gums, sprint to his left, kind of pull everything that side, and he threw it back against the grain. Got an interference call from the defensive man trying to cover the streaking receiver, and it's going to be, should be, first down De La Salle. So we're having another conversation here with our officials, so we'll see.
Now, some of the Lutcher players are pointing in the other direction, but I don't think they're close enough to the conversation to really hear what's Yeah, they're walking over to the bench saying Lutcher football.
They could be talking about that could have been an illegal receiver, that he could have been covered up on the line of scrimmage.
Well, Josh Paul
with an illegal formation
is a defensive back. Watch him. You're looking for number 4.
Couldn't really. You can see the interference right there. The question is where did number 4 line up?
Yeah, we'd have to take another look at that and see if we've got a longer look before the snap of the football as to where Josh Paul lined up. Ron Manally's making a case. And this is a long conversation by the officials, so they may be talking about where Josh Paul was lined up offensively.
Here we go.
We'll hear it from Paul LaRosa.
It's kind of like that commercial.
Yeah.
Your mic's on.
Your mic's on. I'm ordering.
Whoa.
Wow. So look at Manally. He can't believe it. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness gracious. I tell you what. They're calling interference both ways.
So we're going to do this again.
They're going to do it again.
This is offsetting penalties. We're going to do it again.
My goodness.
So now the element of surprise is taken away. Tim DeTillier. I'm not sure what he's upset about on the other sideline.
I'm going to tell you what he's upset about. He's upset about that his defensive back there didn't recognize the fake punt and the streaking receiver down the field. He needed to see that.
So Julian Gums will try this again. Will he punt or will he pass? Still 7 minutes and 22 seconds to play. De La Salle, you figure with the punt away, Lutcher can run at least 3 or 4 minutes off the clock, and Ron Manally still can't believe it. The head coach of De La Salle. Cavaliers 9-0, Lutcher 8-1. This time they will punt the football, and he hooks it left. It'll get a bounce out of bounds. So this won't be a real long punt, but it'll flip the field a little bit after the 26-yard punt, and will go out of bounds at the 37-yard line. So Lutcher with the football, 7:16 to go, a 2-point lead. Ron Manally just can't believe it. What more can he try, trick play-wise, that just will not work tonight?
Well, I applaud the call.
Yeah, me too. I love it.
He didn't get the call down the field. I didn't see the offensive interference. I saw the defensive interference. I didn't see the offensive interference. But once again, that's why we're up here and they're down there. So
yeah, no, I love the call. I think he's frustrated in the fact that he's making great calls on when to use the trick plays, and they're just not working. Something, penalty, whatever, messes it up. Little shovel pass forward. Nowhere to go for Destin Porter. He is just spun down by Jamarin James. Hello.
Here's your shuttle pass. That's the old Utah shuttle pass that Urban Meyer used to run. That is actually, believe it or not, it's a triple option. They're optioning the last man on the line of scrimmage, which was 92 right there, Daquan Edwards. If Daquan Edwards takes the quarterback, he shuttles it underneath. If Daquan Edwards falls back in on the underneath play, he's going to keep the ball and pitch it to the back that's coming around. Triple option, just another way to present it.
Second down, 12. Lutcher keeps it on the ground. They'd like to run some clock, but they're going to have to find a way to get some yardage if they do, and there is nothing there for Kendrick Jackson. He goes down. Josh Paul with the tackle.
Inside zone run play right there. Not a lot of blocking going on up there by the offensive line of Lutcher right there. Got a lot of maroon helmets to the ball.
By the way, who hit him first? Josh Paul on the help. Jamarin James was there, too, to slow him down.
What a night Jamarin James is having. Number 93.
He'll buy a DVD. Third down, 11. Here's the toss to Clayton. Clayton tried to stay in bounds to reach the first down marker, and he won't. He'll be short of the first down. He's up to the 46 and needed to get to the 47-yard line. He will be a yard short of the first down.
Lutcher comes to the 3-receiver side where they had the numbers that time. Only 2 defenders over there for De La Salle. Just comes up a little bit short of the first down.
Fourth down now. 4th down and 1. About 1 1/4 if you want to be exact. But Good catch by Clayton. By the way, Clayton, the, again, nephew of Jarvis Landry. Look at this, 4 wideouts stacked on one side, and here is a kick. They put it anyway. Well, if they were going to fake it, that was the time to do it. De La Salle had no one back. They were expecting a fake punt, and it's downed at the 8-yard line. So De La Salle will have the ball when we come back. 5:19 to work with, trailing by 2. Welcome back. De La Salle playing catch-up from their own 8-yard line, and they're going to go with Miles Ward around the right side. He's dangerous when he's running around the ends, and Ward runs out of bounds. And anytime De La Salle can get out of bounds right now to stop the clock, they will.
Running that lead sweep right there, get a good block on the edge, just missing the tackle right there. For Lutcher was number 14, Dylan Ricotta.
Gain 7, so it's second down 3 at the 15-yard line.
Well, Ricotta from Lutcher tonight has had a nice game out there at his outside linebacker, strong safety position.
Remember, if De La Salle eats up a lot of clock and gets close, they have an excellent field goal kicker. Miles Ward again, same side, same end run. He's got the first down. He moves the chains, and he gets out of bounds to stop the clock.
Nobody to set the edge that time for the Lutcher defense. The end loss contained. The linebacker got blocked. The wide receiver did a nice job blocking on the corner. You can see Lutcher lost contained because they ran an inside stunt with Dontrell Johnson, their outside linebacker. So he's nowhere to be to set the edge. They ran a little stunt that you saw there on the replay, which took him completely out of any type of edge player to be able to force the running back to come back inside.
First and 10 at the 20 on a drive that started at 8. Ward again, same right side sweep, and this time Ward almost broke it before being knocked out of bounds at a 13-yard gain. De La Salle will move the chains again, and once again, the Cavaliers stop the clock. 5:02.
Been working well all night, the lead sweep. Look at the block out there. Nice job by Monconduit, number 80. Seals the edge, allows Ward to get outside and around. Big pickup. If it works, keep running it. They're going to keep running it down the boundary to the short side of the field. Working that boundary, saving their timeouts.
Remember, some of these Lutcher players, like number 68, Ben St. Pierre, and you can see the numbers on Ward's 11 rushes, 97 yards, all in the second half. Well, he has stepped up. Ward again. No, this time a keeper. On the fake to Ward, a keeper by De La Salle's Julian Gums, and he is very close to moving the chains again, all the way up to the 42-yard line.
The companion play off the sweep was the quarterback keep up the middle, wrapping the backside guard around up into the hole. Becomes a little quarterback ISO. Companion play, I'm sure they've got a nice little pass off of this little series too, their little sweep series.
4.5 minutes to play. The Cavaliers are watching the clock. Earlier tonight, there was a little bit of a wind to our right, which would have been in the face of the Cavaliers, but it has subsided. There is no wind. The flags are still on the poles. Second down 1 after the fake give. Gums keeps, and it's going to be very close. I think he got back to the line of scrimmage and is still a yard short. Third down 1, and a big third down for the Cavaliers. Probably 4-down territory. But you'd like to get it on third down?
Well, they've got 2 timeouts left. They'll have a decision they have to make if they don't get it, get the first down.
I mean, that's an understatement, but I think with 3 minutes and 45 seconds, Ryan Manali knows this is 4-down territory. You can't punt that football away right now. And the reason everybody's yelling is the clock was running down. If they stop the clock, and again, there's no play clock on the field. If they stop the clock, the game clock was moving, was running. So now they've stopped it. Let's see what this is all about. I think they're going to probably put some time back on the clock. Will they or won't they? Nope, they won't. All right. And the clock running again. Julian Gums looks it over. A lot of time being taken here. Jeremiah James was standing up, getting the play from Gums. High snap, he pulls it down, and he just throws one up for grabs. This is a jump ball, and it's pulled down by Minor. My goodness, no, he missed it. I thought Minor was able to keep it, but was able to retain possession. Wow.
Tell you what, that's the signal that they're going to go for it on fourth down.
Yeah, high snap.
Right there. So,
I
mean, look at this. Had it in his hands.
Oh, he had it.
And just couldn't hold on to it. Broken up by Ethan Bland coming across the top from his free safety position. Sets up the fourth down. Here we go.
Fourth
Big
down
play.
one. They've got to get this. If the Cavaliers are to keep this drive going, 3:14 to play in the game, trailing by 2. They'd like to draw. The Cavaliers would. Lutcher offside. Lutcher jumped once tonight and gave De La Salle a free new set of downs. Manali shouting out the play to Gums. Now Gums signals the play. De La Salle's got to call timeout. They were running out of time. No play clock. The official's hand went up in the air, meaning there was just a few seconds left. And timeout De La Salle. So they're going to talk about this one. And this is a critical play because Lutcher could easily run out the clock.
You know, the clue was that they were going to go for it on fourth down by throwing it deep on the first down. So it brings up the fourth down play right here. You know, in a lot of situations, you might punt the ball right there with the 2 timeouts that you had left, play defense down in your end, and try to get a swap on the field position with the 2 timeouts.
The significance of this play equals the significance of this game. You take a look at the standings. You're playing for the championship of District 9, 3A, and De La Salle, remember, has one. Let me check timeouts here. Yeah. 1 timeout remaining for the Cavaliers. 1, Lutcher has all 3. So if Lutcher gets that football, it's just going to take 1 first down, and they could probably run this clock out. That's the significance of this play. District championship, maybe a little bit in power ratings, but district championship, and maybe if these teams both win the 3A state championship in the non-select and the select divisions, which one is the better 3A team? Miles Ward with the right end run. He's fighting for the first down marker. He gets there. He's driven out of bounds, and it's going to depend on the spot. Looks like he got it, but we're not sure.
It's going to be close.
Take a look on the far side. Boy, Miles Ward with second effort says, I got it. You saw him just signal first down, but we haven't seen it from the officials yet. Forward progress is going to be the key here because he was hit, driven sideways. The Lutcher coaches are saying it's their football, and who gets it? Lutcher's all fired up. The Lutcher team says it's their football. They're measuring. De La Salle's defense is running out on the field.
I think it's going to be short.
The spot of that football from here, where the first down marker was, he had to get to the 40. Yeah, he had to get to the 43-yard line, and they've got it marked at the 42. Didn't get it. Didn't get it. Lutcher takes over on downs. Wow.
Lead sweep out there again. I don't know. I don't know if he got even to the sticks by the time he got knocked out of bounds there. It was real close.
Wow. It's hard to tell. You know, from my angle, I was looking at it and thought maybe his forward progress did get there. But the officials, right on the spot, spotted it, measured it, and now they've put it out. I thought he had to get very close to the 43-yard line, and he's at the 42. That's how close it was. Now the timeout story is what we've been talking about. De La Salle with only 1. So Lutcher with 3:09 to go is going to keep that ball on the ground. They will go forward on first down. All they want to do is run it. When will De La Salle use the timeout? That was Porter. just trying to get a few yards. Cavaliers are not going to stop the clock on that down.
Well, they're going to be looking at when to use their timeout. They're going to probably use it on third down if they can get to a third down. I would have thought that they would have stopped it already. I doubt they'll stop it after, I doubt they'll stop it on second down. They're going to probably look at third down to stop the clock.
2.5 minutes to play. Second down play. And this is a keeper all the way by Kirkland. And Kirkland short of the first down again, but he gets some positive yardage all the way up to the 36-yard line.
There it is.
There's the timeout coming with 2 minutes and 16 seconds to play. Wait a minute. There's an injured De La Salle player down on the field.
All right. Well, then.
Which will stop the clock.
Which saved the timeout. It looked like they might have been calling timeout until they saw their injured player.
That's one of the big linemen. It's either Edwards, James, or Williams. Let's see if we can see who's standing. James is up. Ray is up.
A lot of cramps tonight, even for Week 10. It's just hot and humid down there in front of this front that's supposed to be coming through tomorrow with cooler weather.
You can see some of the humidity on the field with the sheen that's on the field.
Usually don't see these cramps this late in the season.
2 minutes and 16 seconds to play. Third down, 4. If you're Lutcher, De La Salle has just used their timeout. You've got to call one of your key plays to get the first down.
I don't think they use their timeout. I think
that's right. That's right. They
got the injury on the field. I think he was looking to use his timeout right there, but clock was stopped with the injured player.
Well, while we have a moment, let's take a look at these two teams' schedules. First, for the Lutcher Bulldogs, very impressive on how they got here, beating Dutchtown and West Jeff, some 5As there. St. Amant scored on the last play of the game, did not have a field goal kicker or an extra point kicker, had to go for 2, missed it, lost it 21-20 with no time on the clock, and then just blew through the rest of the schedule.
What's impressive is the points they've scored. Look at the number of points.
And again, you're looking at a Bulldog team that on the overall schedule was averaging 44 and giving up only 14 in district play, averaging 53 and giving up 9, this Bulldog team. Very impressive.
Well, I like also how they play 5A teams at the top part of their schedule. The Dutchtown, West Jeff, St. Amant all being 3 5A teams that Tim DeTia knew he had to play tough competition going into his district.
Now remember, that was an injury, not a Lutcher, De La Salle rather, timeout. Clock is running, 2:03, and Lutcher is going to let it run down. There is no play clock. The official, keeping the time on the field, raises his hand. They've got to snap the football, running out of time. Here's the give to Porter. Porter has the first down on the left side. That's going to do it right there. And Porter knocked out of bounds. That may be, or did he stay in? He ran out, but that'll be probably the final time this clock is stopped. De La Salle still has one timeout, but it's going to be tough for them to get the football back. And you know what's amazing? If this game ends like this, 2 excellent football teams played a great football game that came down to extra points. Kirkland will keep. Kirkland goes down. And now the Cavaliers use their timeout.
Well, we were talking about when to use their timeout back in the last series. Even with the injury, they might have thought about calling the timeout there on the third down play because the clock starts once they get the injured player off the field. They wind the play clock. So they ran off close to 20 seconds, I believe, off of that game clock, just standing there, holding the ball to snap it.
Before we looked at the Lutcher schedule to see how they got here, let's take a look at this De La Salle Cavalier team. A very impressive schedule for the Cavaliers. Again, a team that averaged 50 points a game, allowed only 6 points a game. They never trailed in a football game. They always scored first and shut out 5 opponents.
Well, I'll tell you what, the thing that's impressive on that list is the 62-13 win over a Union Parish team that's been in the Dome, if I'm not mistaken, the past 2 years in a row. That was a significant statement maker for the De La Salle Cavaliers earlier in the season, letting everybody know, hey, we're a pretty darn good football team.
Undefeated De La Salle Cavaliers, 9-0. 2 points down, trying to get the ball back. Destin Porter, left side run, stays in bounds. De La Salle cannot stop the clock. The Cavaliers have no timeouts remaining. And now the clock will run. If you're looking at third down, Lutcher will have to snap the ball with a little under 1 minute on the clock. If they don't make a first down, the Cavaliers have a chance to get this football back. Maybe with just a less than 7 or 8 seconds on the clock at the very end, if we're doing the math right. Hand goes up in the air by the officials, keeping the time on the field. There is no play clock here. Kirkland keeps. Oh, he makes the first down. As a matter of fact, he scores the touchdown. There's the icing on the cake. Kirkland, 23 yards with an exclamation point. And Lutcher has just wrapped it up. They are going to win District 9-3A. Kirkland right up the middle for the score.
Well, nobody there. Just walk straight in, and then, the importance here is the extra point, Ken. They make the extra point, makes it a 2-score game, and it would be all over. All important extra point. But I tell you what, there was nobody there. Walk straight into the end zone.
Well, I think they were protecting the outside and the corners, and I'm not sure, but there's your extra point. It is good. Alec Bland drills it, and it's 21-12. Lutcher with the lead. Another look at this one, and there you go. You said nobody was there, and sure enough, I mean, he just waltzed right through.
Nobody there. Quarterback ISO. Did a great job blocking the front. Up front, the offensive line from Lutcher did, and just washed into the end zone.
47 seconds to play. Tough one for the De La Salle Cavaliers as they're going to suffer their first loss of the year. The good news for De La Salle, even though they don't win this football game, they still have a good enough record and a high enough power point that they will likely get a bye in the first round of the playoffs. And if there's any players that are dinged up or hurt, they're going to get healthy. And this is a potent team to be reckoned with in 3A.
Well, they're going to be up in the top part of their 16-team bracket in Division II.
Yep.
And that will ensure that they get a home game. That will ensure that they get a bye in the first round. And that's going to be a nice thing for them to hopefully heal up a little bit and then get ready to go in Week 2 of the playoffs.
47 seconds to play, but it's a 2-score ball game. Cavaliers with 8 with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion would still be one back. It'd be 21-20. It's 21-12. I would look for the squib kick. Lesh to kick it. Miles Ward drops it. And Ward spun around, dropped, 42 seconds.
Tell you what, neither of these teams, have anything to hang their heads about tonight.
Absolutely.
As far as the
You're
way
right.
they play. De La Salle definitely doesn't. Lutcher's going to win 9-3A. They're going to have their heads definitely up moving on to their first-round opponent next week in the playoffs. But I tell you what, it's been an outstanding football game, especially 2 outstanding defenses tonight.
Oh, my goodness. We have seen a defensive performance. De La Salle and Lutcher will both be 9-1 overall. Lutcher will be 7-0 in District 9-3A. De La Salle will be 6-1. But Ryan Manali has a force to be reckoned with in the select division. And let me tell you, Lutcher, this could be the year of their 7th school state championship. That's how strong this Bulldog team is in non-select. Gums is going to chunk it along down the right sideline. Throws it behind B.J. Randall. Down to 33 seconds, and that's all you can do is chunk a few long ones, hope you can connect, Maybe 2 plays get you to the end zone, onside kick. I mean, there's still that outside chance, and we have seen some weird things in both high school and college football this year.
Well,
you got to keep throwing it.
Saw something strange last week with the Miami-Duke game, didn't you?
Oh,
yeah, I mean, strange things can happen, but they're going to have to.
Miami-Duke, Michigan, I mean,
they've got to score now.
We could do a
right
top
now.
10 right here in the booth.
They've got to score right now. So
look, Ryan Manali, as we just said, we know you're disappointed. We know the Cavaliers are disappointed, but you're still going to get a bye. And in the big picture, all this is costing you is the district title. And Lutcher, a lot to just be so proud of the way this team has come back. 1-point loss early in the year to St. Amant. After the sack, the clock runs 17-16. Of course, De La Salle has no timeouts. They cannot stop the clock, and they will not snap the football again. We're down to the final 5 seconds of play. This one is over. The Lutcher Bulldogs win District 9-3A with a 21-12 victory over the De La Salle Cavaliers in just a great battle here at Victory Field at Joe Brown Park. We'll be back to wrap it up and maybe talk to the winning coach right after this. This was a 14-12 ball game, but whether it's 21-12, 14-12, Lutcher won a hard-fought battle, and you got to take your hats off to him. Somebody's got to make a play, and the team that does wins the game. Lutcher did.
Well, Tim said it right. It was a close-fought game all the way right down to the end. You take that last score off the board, like you said, Ken. Think about it. De La Salle gets that first down, which they missed on their very last drive by what, half of a football?
Yeah.
That's a close ball game. Right there, they have that opportunity to be able to get that shot right there, and they just don't make it. And but you know, it's
three shots with a yard to go. 3 shots.
It's like Coach Detillier said. You know, hats off to De La Salle. De La Salle played a great football game. Lutcher played a great football game. It was a huge defensive battle tonight. Hats off to both defenses.
And who knows? We may be doing one of these teams again next week. You just don't know. The brackets come out Sunday, and we'll figure out who we're doing next week. It's going to be fun. Wade, thank you. Stephanie, thank you. Thanks for joining us for the first NBC Bank Prep Showcase. We will have a first-round playoff matchup for you next week. Watch it live Friday night on SportsNola.com and catch the tape-delayed broadcast on WHNO next Saturday at noon. Stay tuned now for a special edition of the first NBC Bank Prep Showcase, a wrestling duel between St. Paul's and Jesuit that comes your way at 3 p.m. For Wade Kaiser, Stephanie Altman, and our entire WHNO-TV crew that brought you great pictures, I'm Ken Berthelot. Your final score, 21-12. 21-12, Lutcher over De La Salle for the 9-3A championship.